There we go. Welcome back, race fans. Come on down. Keeping it alive here on the east side. It's not quite, it wasn't quite watching him hit the North 40 off a turn, the north end of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at 6 a.m. Hi, race fans. Now, my observation, Scott and I, is a whole lot of folks rushing to get their seats marked. A whole lot of others rushing over to get to the porta potty.
Yeah, you got to call dibs on whatever you got to do.
Exactly. Welcome, race fans. Come on in. Racers, stand ready. Dylan Douthit, first up, sitting 21 on the speed charts when we quit last night. Trying to bump his way in. Make it into that top 28.
Yep, he wants to get his setup ironed out here for today since he hopes to make one qualifying attempt. Would be his sort of goal of the day, and it'd be good enough to just ride the rest of the afternoon out. But first up, practice, our World Figure 8 Championship, and you're going to see a mix of folks locked in, working on race runs, and some folks working on trying to get speed to put themselves into the show a little later on today.
8 spots open for starters, and all the spots open for the transfer spots. And there we go for your alternates. There's 21 Adaltit, 0 Jillian Lepedo. A couple guys be practicing here, trying to make sure they're up to snuff, but they're going to be practicing race. I got 20 guys going to practice with race trim. Some may or may not come out in this first session. Cars to the track. Lepedo came in last night. She's trying to get in.
Once again, doesn't have her transponder. Like yesterday.
Dang it, Jillian, going to keep us guessing.
Yep, but yeah, she's outside looking in. She had a time that was good enough to get in. What do you see her at?
She was 26. 26
yeah.
fastest last night, but all that is gone now. The fastest 8 here today on qualifying make it in. Everybody else goes in order of time to make an alternate. We do have our good friends with Hoosier Lottery on board outside of turn 2 of the 8, turn 3 of the oval for those of you playing the home game.
Yeah, you're feeling lucky. That's where you need to go over there.
Ooh, I feel lucky tonight. Now we got food, we got drink, or we got somebody over at the Jake's Pit Stop out there, turn number 4.
Nice.
Let's see.
Hey, everybody had to run in to get to where they wanted to go first.
They're out of breath. Get those marked, etc. That's fine. Mark off. Stake out your territory. Please do pee in the seat, though, to save it for yourself.
Yeah. And, along with your trip to the hospital, another tradition of marking your seats.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I've been good. I'm so far staying out of the emergency room here this weekend. You're welcome. But getting everybody assembled, we got a couple guys that need to get in. I saw a couple interesting stories popping up. Looks like your buddy Ricky Pucket has in their mountain tires up. Solved
his transmission issues from yesterday, which caused him not to be able to come up. And when I walked out of the office here 10 minutes ago, he was there mountain tires. So it shouldn't be too long before we see Ricky Pucket on track.
Put the call out for a new Bert, and see what's going to happen out there.
Yeah, picked up an Ernie, and on he went.
Yep. All right, quick rundown in case you missed the memo. Oh, I haven't checked. We should be live on the YouTube. Hi, YouTubers. Let's find that real quick. I'm already got my messages.
Dang.
YouTube
they're on the
up. Yep, they're telling me YouTube is
check-ins.
And Yahoo wants me to check the 6-digit code because they've lost my Yahoo account.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Damn, maybe they're just calling you Yahoo.
No, they're trying to hit me on my AOL account, which I haven't used, I don't think, in the last 10 years. So it's going to be tough.
Might have been your MySpace page.
Oh, my goodness.
But we have all these cars on track here, Tori, and the only one with the transponder is Dylan Douthit.
I'll tell you what, Steve Frost, number 71.
I'm going to give Steve Frost a pass. He hasn't raced all year, so he hasn't picked one up. So I get that.
He and the boy, the grandson.
Doug Riddle, who had 2 different transponders yesterday, doesn't have one today.
Well, I'll say he was in there for a while.
Yeah.
On the other transponder, he was looking good.
Yeah.
Maybe they got a little complacent there and changed their minds. I see Sean Moore bringing up the Hound Hauler, ladies and gentlemen. The K9, Sean Moore, making his way to the track.
He's got a transponder. They know what's going on.
And that was one, he had that one sneak attack, really sweet lap there early on in the hot lap session.
Yeah, well, and then part of the way through qualifying, he was up there at about 14th or 15th, too. So he's had some good laps throughout the weekend. Yep. So I expect him to be one of the solid ones trying to get themselves into the field.
Yep. So, again, a real good reminder here, all my racers, make sure you get those transponders on. And, again, a reminder, make sure you have all your safety equipment on at all times. Do not come to the track without all full safety equipment. That's going to include, of course, that horse collar around you.
Yeah, and if you're with Doug Riddle, Steve Frost, and Jillian Lapato, none of you have your transponders on.
Yes, naughty. Though Frosty is kind of old school. He's probably got his own stopwatch working. He'll tell you. He'll let you know if he's fast enough.
Yeah, he's got it mounted to the dash.
Right next to that little hula girl going bop, 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 bop.
Yep. Also, it looks like the Sloans have made it out today. So good to see them checking in the pit area.
All righty. And who dat? Oh, Shackelford's going to come out from now. Here's your big story here, Scott.
Yep, roof on.
Roof is on.
Yep, he's decided to keep it at least for now. He's still got a few hours to take it off. You know, when it comes to lunchtime, they may need the roof.
There you go.
For the old picnic table. Well, Shackelford's got a transponder. Everybody.
Yeah. Already locked in. He's just got there going warming things up. I guess at this point, this is their chance to practice some race trim, full tank of fuel, etc.
Yep. Maybe made some adjustments from last night. Went through the car, shake it down. And you'll see some of that later on in that final practice as well. That comes after we have the final second round qualifying. And, of course, today's fast qualifier will pick up a $300 bonus courtesy of our good friend Danny Key.
Street Soccer Danny Key coming on board, throwing some extra money at the Buck guys.
Second day fast qualifier, $300. That's a nice little deal. Second day fast qualifier, the last 2 years in a row, picked up by Doodle Ferris, who was on property last night. And I expect to see him today. Him and his wife were walking around having a good time.
There you go. Well, here's Doug Gregg, a fellow with a good shot taking that money.
Yep.
He's been there before, actually, as the first alternate and in the alternates list when need be. He'd rather have himself a spot in the starting field, but is tough wherever he goes from, known to be one of the best survivors. And here, once again, every time he shows up again is another record for attendance.
Yep, he's got his transponder on.
He's in the number 33 machine on his multicolored. At the gate is a fellow that all of us been buzzing about. And it's a whole lot of us little guys. Holy cow, Douthit, keeping them guessing there. And there you go. That's one of the things that's a problem. You come out here, if you're already locked in, taking a chance here in the hot laps.
Yeah.
Maybe a mistake out there. You think a guy's going to let you through because you're the big guy and
and he's busy trying to get a mock qualifying run
He's trying to see what kind of times he can pull out of it, and you're sitting there trying to work on race trim, and you both lose track of what's going on.
Yeah.
So, and see, Humans over there almost getting into Shackelford as well. Now, Curtis Humans at number 11. What a story that has been from the get-go. Coming in, basically drove himself up here with his trailer by himself.
Yep. Worked on the car by himself.
Worked on the car. Had a spring brake on him and caused a few problems at the back end and had us all worrying that the rear end would break because he was actually talking about having a weird noise.
Yeah, and I seen him give a shout out to Charlie Hargraves for helping him out with that leaf spring. So appreciate that, Charlie, helping a fellow racer out.
But he's pretty much wow.
He's a one-man band.
He's a one-man. So I was watching the crossover again that time with Frost and the Hound Hauler, but Mopar, he's a big fan of the Dodge equipment, Mopar kind of guy. The car itself is a dirt late model chassis with the Mopar body, the Dodge body on top.
He kind of relocated himself a little closer to the center when he worked on it to make it more figure eight worthy.
He did the Ray Bray thing.
Yep.
Put the center weight.
That looks like something Ray Bray would have come up with. You're right. That's a good call.
Ray Bray would have loved that sort of thing because Ray Bray was one of those fellas that. Tossing the extra wing on top of a gremlin.
Yeah, and most likely Ray Bray will be here. He's here a lot of the big events with Jesse Tunney and the Breedlove folks over there.
Lordy.
So, because he's kind of he holds down the waiting room over there at Breedlove Automotive. He's
okay.
Yeah, he kind of hangs out over there.
Keeps things popping up out of shape.
Yeah, meet Ray Bray over there when you're getting your tune-up.
Let's see if we can get an idea where Humans is at. Pete Bear out in the number 24. Doug Riddle in the 21. Going to try and get that starting 28 machine. 11 of Humans. 21 of Douthit is currently outside looking in.
Yeah, and again, a few of these folks don't have transponders on, so it's hard for us to compare them. But
as we're assuming that, I'm trying to get an idea. Jericho Shackelford out there, 17.429 for his best lap, a bunch of 17.5s. So I'd say it's safe to say he's working under race trim.
Yeah.
And getting, there's not a whole lot you can do, but if you're talking about a race that's going to be 400, 500 laps long, these 30, 40 laps you might get out of a practice session aren't exactly going to give you much of a barometer set to what your fuel usage is going to be like.
Well, or times you can figure out how many laps you've run on that used set of tires all weekend, too, and say you've got 150, 175 laps throughout the weekend on it. So you go ahead and load it up with fuel and go out there and run it on that old tires to maybe see how the car feels for the later stages of running in there.
See what there we go.
Because your car's going to handle differently because they're going to pack that thing as full as they can with fuel when the race starts. Because they want to give themselves the most options on that pit stop.
We used to. I mean, we had the overflow poop. We had everything full of fuel. Came out there. That's why I hate it when they go for parade laps, lasting 10, 15 laps long for parade laps.
Yeah, you're like, oh, there goes our summer gas.
Yeah, and we're trying to squeeze. And back in that day, of course, we were working with 20, 22, 24 gallon fuel cells.
Well, they're 22's the max.
Right. But,
so everybody's got pretty much the same cell.
And prior to that, in the early days, they were working with 5 gallon.
Yeah.
Some even with, the 2.5 gallon boat tanks and 5 gallon jerry cans.
Well, and a lot of the sophisticated ones in those days still only had like a 12 gallon cell, because that's really all you needed all season long.
Well, you figure the very first years you can still run a stock gas tank in these things.
Chad Sizemore back out, and last night he took the wing off for part of the evening, so now the wing's back on.
And not run the pizza box. You notice that never came back, but definitely, it does have that extra.
Yeah, that thing is sort of the...
that is, he is running a double airfoil on that top roof wing.
Yeah, it's sort of like the bucket on the front of like a front loader type deal, It's not the straight skateboard ramp.
Whoa! They had guest time there with humans. Humans with the perfect little moonshine tools, and that might be actually apply. But
he's going to take a break here. Check his shorts.
Up, yeah, that was a tough one. Steve Durham out in number 44, the Ghost.
But all these folks, that's not nothing they've never seen before here. You're going to see some of that tonight. Durham in a position he's very unfamiliar with. Steve Durham almost always locks himself in on Friday night.
Usually in the first couple of rows, too.
Yeah, definitely a top 10 type guy normally. And he's in the spot of now having to make sure he gets himself in. And he didn't exactly have the quickest set last time. He was like 24th.
Yeah.
So, but then again, he got here late, picking up this ride after he realized his car was a little bit too damaged to get fixed in time for the 3 hour from his buddy Andy Shirley.
Lisa Siemens wants you to know that third turn performance, third turn performance will be open until 5:45. 5:45 for third turn performance for supplies, needs, whatever you might need out there. Your third turn performance open until 5:45. Sean Cullen in the 111. Another one trying to make his way.
Nope, he was the last one in last night.
Oh, that's right. He was sitting on the bubble at the very end.
We talk every year. There's always a couple of guys that make it into the top 20 that we say, wow, I kind of didn't think he'd make it. And then there's a couple that don't make it. Cullen kind of, from my list, I thought he'd make the starting field, but I wasn't sure he could lock himself into the top 20 because he's only ran a couple of races in the Outlaws so far this year, but did a nice job last night.
We know he had a good car to work with. This machine, the old Tim Logue machine, then Ricky Schaefer machine. So we know he had a good one to play with there, and Doug Gregg for that matter.
Yeah. So, it was really comforting. I'm sure them guys had a little bit of relaxing last night, because they made it in. I'm sure they were worried about that early in the day.
Durham down now. Take a quick peek there. The 28th fastest speed, Manny Aguilar last night, 18.112. So you figure you're going to have to be underneath 18 seconds to make the starting field. And those of you that are thinking, oh boy, well, didn't they used to qualify in the 15s and 16s? Well, back in the olden days, we also used to soak the tires to all get out until they were
until our brains were fried.
Yep, and so we had to put a stop to that. Also, they were using a slightly much softer tire. What did Chad Sizemore just do? A 17.409. Okay.
He had the mock qualifying line
he
too,
did,
which I'm a little confused on, but since he doesn't need that now, but he likes to put his name atop the speed charts.
That might have been it. We got 17.409 for Chad, 17.429 for Shackford. The guy's not yet in the starting field. We got Doug Gregg at a 17.714, Dylan Dowd at 17.738, Doug Riddle 17.874, Steve Durham 17.948. These are all looking like speeds good enough. And Pete Pear, though, could be on the outside looking in, 18.469, his best lap so far on the 24 machine.
I'd like to thank our friends at K&R Medical Equipment Repair. K&R specializes in the repair, maintenance, and calibration of medical equipment. Their technicians provide reliable, timely, and cost-effective solutions to ensure that your medical devices operate at peak performance. That's K&R Medical Equipment Repair.
take care of us at the track as well. Appreciate those guys there. Had some good news there. We were worried about a couple of our races there. One being the Thimes kid there last night. Everything was fine. He was just shook up and disappointed after hitting the wall.
Yeah.
Did not get a report on our bicycle injury, though. I don't know what's up with our bicycle race.
Yeah.
So
that kind of fell under the radar during the raindrops.
Yeah. So if we get a follow-up for the bicycle, we'll let you know.
Yeah, K&R Medical owner Rick Gardner was the championship-winning car owner last night for the Mini Outlaws with Steve Vickers.
There you go.
He was pretty excited down there in Victory Lane. I think he hugged Steve's shoulders right off.
Yep. 17.948 best. Oh, this is to be a tough one here for Steve Durham. Get that starting 28. 17.948.
Yeah, that's a shaky time there.
Yeah, it is.
It might make it in, and then again, it might be second alternate.
Let's see. Also come to the
on that
gate. No, looky here. Shackelford with the roof off now.
That was quick.
17.429 roof on. Keep that in mind there. Mark that one down.
That was quick enough, Tori. They could do that during the race.
But get out your little Jiffy Lube notebook there and write down 17.429. That was Jeffrey Shackelford's time with the roof.
Yeah, and it was just like 4 or 5 minutes ago, so nothing's changed out here, so we'll be able to compare these two times.
17.816, that time without the roof.
They obviously had a plan going into today to do this, to get out early, to try it, and then try the other way so they can make decisions.
Well, for me, the armchair physicist wondering about the roof, and there you go, 17.316 was better. so far got 1/10 of a second improvement. Now, was that indeed? I can see Shaq would be the kind of guy that he wants to run without the roof. And
he pretty much has for the last 2 years. Any place that he's been, that he was eligible to run the big roof.
And 17.438 that time without the roof. So I think they may be making the decision. Here's Mark Tunney pulls up to the gate, already locked in on that front row. And another one of our rookies here of the race, Scott and I felt we're having fun with Daniel Norman in the number 55, Mark Maria.
And I tell you what, he's worked himself to where he's got a shot to get in the starting 28 here. Not too far off. He's been impressive and putting in his laps throughout the weekend and staying out of trouble and learning each time he comes out on the track.
Yeah. Roots coming up from of all things, just a dirt late model and a couple times in a Ford, but other than that, not really felt regular at the Speedrome or anywhere.
And a few of his friends that's been sort of helping him and guiding him got in the field last night, so they may be able to help him out with some guidance today to help get him into the show.
And let's get this. There we go.
Check out the good folks at O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly is an industry-leading auto parts retailer providing automotive aftermarket parts, tools, supplies, equipment, and accessories throughout the United States, serving both professionals and do-it-yourself customers. Visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com.
Dennis Sloan on track number 15. Steve Frost returns in the 71. Mark Tunney out there in the 3. Mark again. Mark was really, I think Mark was just basically didn't want to let out how much he had, how good he could be.
Yeah.
Because we were concerned all day long yesterday, did he have enough to get onto the pole? It says, he's been assumed, who's starting next to Mark this year, and did not get the pole. Dalton Connor gets the pole. Mark's right next to him, but even then, he picked up about 3/10 of a second there that we didn't know about.
Well, Dalton now in his second 3-hour weekend started second last year, started on the pole here. We could be looking at a kid that could be this front row kid for next 10 years or so, kind of like when Mark came on the scene on that deal.
Mark finally hit his stride there. So 15.
Mark's an old man now. He turned 40 this year. So, the 20-year-old came in and kicked him in the shins.
That's when the 40-year-old knees start taking over here in a little bit. Let's see. That maybe got waiting for data.
That guy, he's trying to get in the field as well.
It was Dennis Sloan.
He's in. They got him now.
15, yep.
They got him punched in. First laps of the weekend for Mr. Sloan. His son Anthony will be making his first ever 3-hour start here this weekend.
The best of the non-starters so far is Doug Gregg, 17.714, 17.714. And let's see, Hargraves made it in with a 17.760. So that should be a good time to have there. Gregg in number 33, looking pretty sturdy. Dylan Douthit, 17.738. Doug Riddle, 17.874. Durham, 17.948. Gets a little iffy now. Sean Moore, 18.034. Pete Bear, 18.287, 18.3 for Sean Cullen, 18.9 and change for Dennis Frost. Everybody else a little bit worse off, but Corey Harmon has reported for duty. Now, the good news is he's got Spider Boy back in his pit, so we're back on again. Another one's trying to get in. Let's see. Yep, the G4 of Donnie Garrigus, the fourth. Known for his little bonsai runs to make it into the field, but he's going to have to do one of those again to make sure he gets a spot. Going to be joined by another one of the rookies already in the field. That's going to be the 15 machine. Scores the 15L. Is Race Loving, who gave us one great performance 2 weeks ago at the 1 hour enduro. Son of Robbie, grandson of Frank. Three-hour legends out here.
And Race is starting 11th tonight.
Yep.
So a great qualifying effort. Actually, second quickest of the rookies.
Yep.
Just behind Matt Johnson.
Robbie Greenwell out in the number 40. Lost track. Greenwell bumped his way in, didn't
he? No, he's just outside.
Yep. So Greenwell's got to make it in.
He was in for quite a long time. Just got bumped out there in the last handful of folks. He's been in the starting field the 2 years he's been here, so expect him to pull a rabbit out of his hat here this afternoon.
Again, we take 8 today. Go back to my folks in the peanut gallery, see who's all joined in since last time. Neeser K, ready for 3 hour down in Florida day. All righty, Neeser, thank you for checking in on us. Your Floridians not doing too bad. Sean Moore out there. What did Sean Moore just rip? He had.
Hey, and Tori had the track tunes up and
I have the
way
track
early.
tunes up and running. Sean Moore, fourth fastest here today. Is that correct? Nope. Hang on. That's total laps completed. Dagnam. I wish you stopped doing that to me. Sean Moore, 18.034. Still
close. Very close.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
like you said, that 17 to 8 second barrier is probably what you need to be in.
I think it'd be underneath the 18. Here's and here's one who's struggling to get there, and that's the 44 of Steve the Bull Durham. Let's see. Garrigus is 18 flat. So Garrigus in the G4 is right there.
Yeah, this could be a tight battle here to get in today.
And Lapedo, another one. Finally got a transponder this time. Did not have a transponder earlier run, so we got to get an idea of where she's at. She was with us last night qualifying, got bumped out of the starting 20.
Beatbox Beverages is your ultimate party in a box. It's ready to drink cocktail that comes in bold and fruity party punch flavors. Launch your night at the Speedrome with one of these adult beverages. Beatbox Beverages is the official sponsor of the Speedrome Figure 8 start-finish line. That's Beatbox Beverages.
That was Beatbox Story. You're welcome.
That's Electric Boogaloo, part 2.
Oh, okay. I was not allowed to boogaloo. Mama says it makes you lose your eyesight. All right.
That's the Boogaloo.
Yeah, the Boogaloo. Greenwell. Trying to look for everybody who's above. Steve Durham down to a 17.948, getting there.
Yeah, Doug Gregg, is quickest of the non-locked
Doug
in
Gregg
folks
so
right
far,
now?
yep, had the best, 17.714. Douthit, 17.738. That's 2. Riddle, 17.874. Loving, he's Durham, 17.948. Garrigus, 18 flat.
Yep.
Moore, 18 aught.
Yep, so that's getting close to the 8 right there of guys, and it's right there at 18 flat, of eight non-locked in guys.
Greenwell, 18.1. Lapedo, 18.1. So there you go.
And I tell you what, whenever they get those tires mounted, Ricky Puckett's going to come out here like a ball of fire, and he's going to put a time up, I bet, right out of the gate that scares some of these people.
Well, he's already blown up one transmission. We don't need to blow up the whole car.
But Ricky's not a just ride around type of guy. He's a gasser.
There you go. Well, that's why you don't get behind him. That's why he's not invited back to taco night.
This driver right here, Austin Tunney, remember that second qualifying attempt? He just sort of rode around and pulled off early. They were having brake issues in that second qualifying attempt. That's why he didn't get a chance to he was like a top 10 guy, but he ended up qualifying like 17th or 18th because of that brake issue on his second attempt, which would have been a better lap.
That's immediately back off the track again for the 44 of Durham. Durham obviously having some issues there. Let's see where is his best so far.
Here comes your pole sitter.
Yep,
20 machine. Dalton Connor.
Welcome the tailgaters here before the show, and a lot of folks are wondering, where they're going to put their money on. Obviously an easy one is find the nearest Tunney, but Dalton Connor got a lot of nods. People think this could be his year. Of course, Shackelford. And this is your one that you've been waiting for. There you go. There's a little big. What's that? Look at that big box front end there. We talked about that the other night.
Yeah.
But that's going to be your buddy Ricky Pucket.
Yep. Probably going to get to feel that transmission here, and then he'll stand on the gas. He looks like he's seeding some brakes in, too, as well.
Yep. He literally had to borrow this transmission. He's putting a call out last night on his Facebook. Everybody putting the call out, trying to get a transmission, replacing transmission.
Yep, and right now you're seeing him kind of go a little bit of speed and then hit the brakes, a little speed, hit the brakes. Just seating those brakes in, too, being the first time out for the entire weekend.
Well, I can bet you he's driving up and down the street at home trying. Another fellow trying to get in. Manny Aguilar was your 28th fastest qualifier last night. Trying to get in. Could not make it in the starting field. Trying to get in today.
Yeah, he's going to be right on that razor's edge.
Yep. So Pucket. 21 cars so far under the clock.
Ricky's starting to get a little bit of speed too, and I doubt that he's got new tires on right now. Probably borrowed something used to shake the car down here first. 19.961
so far on his second lap. So already picking up pace a little bit out there. (19.044) as we got Corey Harmon come back out in the number 17. Manny Aguilar in the 83. The 20 machine of Dalton Connor. 23 of Austin Tunney in the Hester Mobile. The 57 to Jesse Tunney on the track. Pucket down to 18.912. And remember, he's trying to get down under the 18-second mark, make that starting 28.
Yeah, also while getting this car, the bugs knocked out of this car, he hasn't run all year, and himself.
Yep.
So a lot to do here in this short practice session for Ricky Pucket. Again, he planned on being here all day yesterday and probably would have been a guy that contended of locking in.
Yeah.
But those mechanical woes had pushed him to where he almost decided not to come at all, but put that shout out on Facebook and come up with a transmission.
Yep. That's nature racers. We tend to do that.
Yep.
And Clapp's still the owner on that car? I thought I saw the
it is.
Post. Okay.
It is. I think he, I don't know if he's going to be here this weekend. He talked about maybe going fishing, but.
Okay. Reason stays. Kevin Brooks, number 3 machine out onto the track there. Another one of the fellas locked in tonight. Locked up Rookie of the Year honors in our Speedrome Outlaw Series. Pucket's 18.408. Getting her up to speed. This should be a better one. Well, that was an 18.545, not improving. I thought that was going to be a bit better than this previous, so let's see if he's able to make something happen. Mike Hadley's number 4 machine, another fellow that's in the field already.
Yeah, and he struggled most of the day yesterday with some speed, but late in the day he rallied.
He really was having trouble getting under the 18-second mark.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys adjusting to the tires we got this year, I think it was part of it. Once you dialed it in, figured it out, you're back down to that low 17 range. But for a bunch of guys till they got there.
Well, and some of these folks that didn't run all season or hardly ran all season just haven't had much time on these. And the folks that have been popping in and running most of the races, built up a notebook on these tires.
Pucket down to a 17.930. That's where he needs to be. Get one of those 8 spots left to be in the starting field.
Yeah, and of note, if he's on somebody's used tires, he may have some speed to pick up when he bolts those new ones on. So he's starting to get in range there.
18.599 that time. He's obviously a little bit crowded on the track for him. Let's see if we run down real quick. The people not yet in. There's Greg, 1. Dylan Douthit, 2. Doug Riddle, 3. Pucket, now for your 4th fastest, 17.930. 4th, 5th is Steve Durham. 6th, Garrigus, 4. 7th, Sean Moore. 8th, right now is Manny Aguilar, same as he was last night, basically, 18.110.
And that's about what he qualified at last night. So,
Jim Lepedo outside looking in. So she basically now you got to be one of the guys on not qualified better than the 18.110. Let's see what we can do about that.
Brown's Oil Service is the official fuel service provider of Sunoco Racing Fuels to the Indianapolis Speedrome. Their racing fuel can power your driver to victory lane in any kind of competition. Brown's Oil Service, the official presenting sponsor of the Mini Outlaws.
Let's try a few things at once. This Track Tunes is up and running for those of you who can already hear me over Track Tunes. I guess it doesn't.
Just confirming.
Dylan Douthit in the number 21D, getting ready to come on out. Looks like he's so far got speed enough to get in. We're going to try to put seal the deal here in. Let me see if I got my official timer here. About a half an hour remaining of this practice session. So we still got a couple cars we have not seen yet. Well, I think one may be in line there. And I wonder if that may be Anthony Sloan out there in line.
I think that might be Douthit there at the gate.
Douthit at the gate, but I think behind him.
Oh, behind him. Yeah, I see what you're talking about now. I think you're right. Well, that could be. Is it? Yeah.
Have not seen the Whitaker plane 31. Have not seen Mike Nelson's 131.
Well, and remember, Mike Nelson had something break or whatever on that qualifying attempt, the first attempt, and we didn't see him back.
There's Garrigus and G4. Humans in the lava machine, still trying to get his way in.
Yep. Southern Indiana Barns is your one-stop shop for all your outdoor building needs. From storage sheds, metal garages, playhouses, and yes, even tiny home shells, they can do what you need. Southern Indiana Barns is the official pit band sponsor of the Indianapolis Speedrome.
It was Anthony Sloan, part of the Rookie Chase 2025 here in the 3 hour.
Yeah.
Making his debut. A couple seasons under his belt so far.
Yeah, let's look at that list of rookies, Tori. The 0 of Jillian Lapato.
Yep, not yet in.
The 0 of Matt Johnson.
In.
The 3 of Kevin Brooks.
In.
The K9 of Sean Moore.
Not yet in.
Of the 11 of Curtis Humans.
Not yet in.
Race Lovings, number 15.
In.
The 32 of Anthony Sloan.
Not yet in.
The 55 of Daniel Norman.
Also not in.
And the 74X of Dustin Hunt.
Also not in. That's true. I haven't seen Dustin yet.
Yeah, so one of the great rookie classes here in a long while.
Yep. Of course, you know what year was the biggest rookie class?
That would be the first one.
Yeah, very good.
But we didn't give out an award, though, until the third one.
Although you can make a very real case. Actually, Jim Fox, with the win, had only started racing the figure eight that year here with the Speedrome in the regular weekly program. It was not part of the weekly program there for the for Fox and the cars like that coming in.
Yeah, and he hopped in the car that Joe Simpson had been driving some throughout the year.
That was actually the back. Well, they hopefully those little GTOs that year. That's for Jim had two.
He won the race in the Firebird, didn't he?
Yeah, the Firebird.
I think he won
the 40X.
Firebird.
Yeah, the 40X Firebird. You're okay on that one. But they had a pair of them for Jim, one for the Oval, one for Ape. They could run them interchangeably.
Yep.
They had another car for Junior Lumpkin.
Right.
Had half a decent year and a pretty decent career until somebody shot him.
Yeah. That'll hamper things.
Yeah, it does. It's east side. Yeah. But and then of course they had Joe Simpson's car, the 40X, that Jack said Jim Fox did jump into that one. But also Jim Fox's dad would sometimes drive, because sometimes we used to have the four-lap car trophy dash,
right?
Fastest four start, and Jim Fox would be the fastest in both his Oval and his 8 car.
Right.
So his dad had to drive one, Jim would drive the other, Joe would be in his, and Junior Lumpkin would be in his.
Yeah,
so
good stuff.
You have an All-Simpson.
It's reminiscent of the All-Sizemore Sutton trophy dashes.
There you go. On track now, 29 machine, Tommy St. John, first time today.
He's locked in the field.
He is in Ike Flynn. What is Douthit up to? He's got a good enough speed. I think he's going to make it. 17.704 still his best, so that's going to work.
Yeah, his plan is today, hoping to get a nice qualifying run in that might be one, two, three of those top times, and then sort of relax a little bit.
Yep, Dennis Sloan back at 15.
Then you keep an eye, and if you start to get moved down to maybe 2 or 3 from the bump spot, then you get back out and run again.
Yep. And Ricky Pucket coming back out. Currently, he's got enough to get in. He keeps these sub 18 seconds.
Yep, and I think that's a good call you've made on that. That's probably going to be what it is. If you got a 17 in the front of your qualifying time, you probably will make it in. Mattingly Concrete is a leading concrete construction company with over 35 years of dedicated service to central Indiana, southern Ohio, and northeast Kentucky. They specialize in a wide range of concrete services for both residential and commercial properties. Mattingly Concrete, the official sponsor of the Modifieds.
We've actually been using the concrete work there we've been getting here on the track in the last few years. Part of that organic Speedrome experience here.
Yeah.
To help us track the grooves these drivers are running. Came in real handy there, actually spotting how high up, how low they were over there at either end of the track, because we saw the different ways of going about your qualifying attempts. You made the call there. Hugging that right-hand line, that right-hand side of the lane as you approach the flag stand is the way to do it. Shortest distance to the point across the transponder stripe there and the big heavy start finish line. And a whole lot of them following your advice, I guess. They must have been listening to the broadcast.
Yeah.
They got you covered there. They got you back, bro.
Got you back, bro.
So that worked out well. Human's back out again. Curtis Human's best lap. Isn't even on the charts at this point. I have to look over at the other one. And
his last
18.934. He's going to do a whole lot better than that. Humans, I think, is just going to be happy with a alternate and get his laps in when the time comes. And I think he's going to be real good at getting those laps in.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be hard to get him out of this race. He's going to run. You're going to have to knock him all the way out to get him out of this race. He's going to run whatever he can.
If you got a chance, track us down on our Facebook page there. As Will Greenwell's been doing a series of interviews. Had a great one there with Kurt Humans and a couple of the other fellas in the pit area. So we want to check that out there on the feeds coming off the Facebook.
Yeah, fun stuff, and sometimes you don't get to hear from these drivers, so you get to learn a little bit about their personality and stuff by talking to them, and that's what we like to feature there. Puckett threw it in that time, didn't he?
He did. Let's see if it did him any good.
Not really.
Still looking at 17.930 for his best. That so far is looking like it just barely good enough to make that starting 28. A few people might have some surprises coming down there for the final qualifying runs themselves, as we see the Troy Hughes 22 back on the track.
Yeah, he's safely in. I think sixth fastest.
Yep, Lepedo in the zero machine. She's trying to get herself in.
Tommy St. John dialing things up. That was a 17.4. He'd like to run those all night long.
Yep, 17.316, 17.409, 17.443 for Garrigus. Whoa, I missed that one. Garrigus with a very nice lap there, 17.443.
Yeah, if he's able to back that up in qualifying, he'll put that up on jack stands.
I tell you, well, that was it totally snuck up on me. I wasn't even keeping an eye on him. He's one of the fellas we talked about couldn't even get it under the 18th second, but they found something.
Yeah.
Here's another fellow trying to squeeze his way in the 44 machine of the Bull, Steve the Bull Durham.
He might have to go back and change his number. Maybe that's this bad luck.
That could be it. Well, I don't know if we need another 3. It's a problem.
You're right.
We don't need another 3. We got some 3s already.
Last night in the Fords, it was 31. We had a whole bushel of them.
Yep. Let's see. Best lap so far for Durham has been a 17.948. Barely where he needs to be, and definitely not in safe territory.
Yeah, that's a get-in lap, but it's a sweat lap all day long.
Yep, be the window to the walls. Jesse Tunney waiting to come out on the gate, as is the 33 Doug Gregg on the track right now. Going to have the 83 Manny Aguilar, the 22 of Troy Hughes, not Mike Hughes, the 0 of Jalen Lepedo, 44 of Steve the Bull Durham. In white and green is going to be the 21 machine scored as the number 21 of Doug Riddle. The 40 is Robbie Greenwell. Boy, looking forward to see what he's got for us here in 2025. With Jesse Tunney's number 57 on the track, and I think we got Anthony Sloan on the gate, ready to come back out for more fun. And the aforementioned Doug Gregg also at the gate, ready to come out.
Hankey Marks and Kreider, our injury and disability lawyers, are here for justice. They are here for you when life changes. With decades of success, they are your Social Security, disability, and injury lawyers. Let their skillful staff take care of you. Hankey Marks and Kreider, the official sponsor of the Senior Fast Carts.
Folks worldwide, don't forget, we got coming up, racing continues on through 2025. Smash It crew comes to town, the first ever derby to promote here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Smash It. I've worked with a lot of the folks here over the decades, and there's some good people in that group. Bring your own group of cars, rules, etc. here on September 13th. Along with that is going to be the Grocery Getters with 30-minute enduro Brown's Oil Service, Power Wheel races, and school bus rides back on board here September 13th. Next week, we'll give these outlaw guys a chance to catch their breath after the 3 hour. Any major changes yet? Looking at some of my guys trying to get in. Doug Riddle
about 20 minutes left, Tori.
Yep. And Doug Riddle's number 21. 17.874. Should be good enough to make it. What about the Manny Aguilar 83 machine? And he is sitting best lap still. 18.110 is right there on the edge. 24 machine of Pete Bear is about a tenth of a second away. He's in 18.287 his best lap. I see Dustin Hunt at the gate there. He's going to bring out in the throwback 74.
Yep, first time on track for him today.
Yep. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Steve Durham so far 5th quickest of the cars not in. 6th is Lepedo. 7th is Pucket. And 8th right now is Sean Moore, 18.034 for Sean Moore.
So right there on that 18.0, 17.9 barrier.
Dustin Hunt, let's see what he can manage. Now he's really, another one that really has not been able to get her up to speed. That car, though, is older than most of the competitors in this field. And so we're curious what he can squeeze out of that one. Trying to do better than 18.034.
Producer Kurt over there changing some wires on the camera, so we lost it there for a second. Getting things tuned up for tonight. Jiffy Lube of Indiana can handle your vehicle maintenance needs all under one roof. It's more than just their signature oil changes. Jiffy Lube handles batteries, brakes, suspension, and much more. Stop in and have one of their experienced technicians take care of your vehicle today. Jiffy Lube is the official sponsor of the factory front-wheel drives and tonight's World Figure 8 Championship.
Matt Patterson asking, I'm ready to see Jaden Durham behind the wheel of the 3D.
Yeah, it's not going to happen tonight.
Okay, I didn't think.
Remember last year, he was the star of the postseason races.
Right.
So we got a postseason race coming up in a couple of weeks. So we'll see if Uncle Steve gets him in the ride for that.
Vegas Larry checking in from beautiful southern sunny Nevada. Right.
He got some betting odds here for.
I was going to say, what's Vegas got to say about the odds tonight?
We already settled the poll. You know, Dalton Connor's on the poll, so now we look towards maybe rookie of the race or the race winner. Yep.
So let us know there what's going to happen in
maybe
Vegas.
Best finishing Tunney.
What's the line? What's the line there on the strip? Jeremy Huss saying, "Hey, from Mooresville." Well, they got their own little strip down there, but I'll tell you what.
That's Garrigan's country, isn't it? Down in Mooresville.
Well, we'll see. There's other going on stuff in Mooresville. I'm like, well, you know. Can you find any decongestant out there? I don't think so. Okay, that was Martinsville. Sorry, I'm being mean. John Carlson coming out in the 5-0. Who else? Oh, that's Corey Harmon with the roof off in the number 17. Is it bad that I'm getting ready to recognize these guys by nothing more than air cleaners and cages?
That's familiarity, Tony.
I'll tell you.
You know, and some of these folks have been in the same configuration all year, so it's the ones that switch things up here that sort of throw us off early in the weekend. We're getting used to it here by Saturday, but then, like with Shackelford, his has been on, off, so, you know.
I think that's going to be Norman now in the 55. Come back out again. He's so far another one of the guys on the outside looking in.
Shelbyville Auto Parts is recycling the past to preserve the future. SAP buys wrecked and running vehicles, farm machinery, and all types of metals. Find the parts you need, pull them yourself, or let their staff assist you. That's Shelbyville Auto Parts and Metal Recycling, the official sponsor of the Street Stocks.
Well, there's the problem with Norman. He didn't have a transponder on yet.
That's why we couldn't find him.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to figure out what his best lap so far.
He's hiding in plain sight.
It did. Worked out pretty good. 18.232 for the best one for Dustin Hunt so far in the 74, about 3/10 off where he's going to have to be by our calculations. Norman getting her up to speed with Black Mariah's number 55. That is, of course, the John Connor Jr. car. Prior to that, there's some other people behind the seat, but Connor Jr. had that for a couple runs here this year. And down to an 18.698. Trying to enter as a rookie. Let's trim off at least another half second.
I really hope Daniel does decide to run the race tonight. I just don't know if he's going to be able to qualify his way in, but the way he operates around the track makes me think that he's going to be able to just run for a long time tonight. He seems very respectful to the cars coming up to pass him. He's watching the crossover well. He's not driving like somebody is for his first time out at the figure 8 track.
And we saw a couple times during practice with a little bit of traffic there. He actually was not totally terrified of the crossover. No.
Yeah, there's times where running the crossover people think it's just like a game of chicken. There's a lot of art to it.
Yep.
And he's showing that he's noticing signs of cars and what to do off of that. There's a lot of body language that people pick up from the race cars when they're challenging each other at the crossover.
First basic one is nose up, nose down, and you're seeing the guy coming at you. Nose down, he's on the brakes. Nose up, he's on the gas. You make a decision too.
And know who your leaders are and where your position is in the race, and your goal is to keep running. Yep.
The other catch is, as I used to explain to guys when we'd go traveling some of the other shows back in the day, and we get to some of these guys who may be two seconds off of our guys, the last thing we need you to do is not do your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to do your laps. You make your money.
Yeah.
We will go around you.
Yes.
And we would rather go around you than have you something at the last minute decide to get out of the way.
And have a little bit of predictability to your driving.
Exactly.
And those guys will make the moves around you.
That's why some folks, will say, upset about, and we'll be blunt, the Sloans on this case, who have been with us for years. They are, and this is why we try to stress, they pay for the same pit bands as everybody else, first off. They don't get a discount. They don't get it free. There's just as much of their lunch money out here on the table as anybody else.
And they're very reliably predictable, and the other drivers know that, and they appreciate that, and they think they're some of the most safest guys to race with on the track.
And they are out there just like anybody else. They want to be at that pay window, and they want to be there after driving their car onto the trailer.
Yep, because they love the sport just as much as anybody else. They just don't have the funds to do things like some of the other folks do, but they love the sport, and that's what we love about them.
Yep. So when you see somebody like the 32 machine of Anthony Sloan, you see the 15 of Dennis Sloan, and yes, sometimes they are in the infield, they are not anybody's way out there.
No.
And it all boils down to you have to go around the guy. They do not have to move over for you every single lap.
Yep.
No matter who you may be. Now, you can make a case for using a little common sense at the crossover. But other than that, no, you got to do your job too. And let's see, where are we up to? The 55. 18.202, getting there, getting close to where he needs to be in the 55 machine, Daniel Norman. So getting the job done so far for Norman in the Black Maria 55. The Norman Excavating and Construction.
Yeah.
He doesn't. You got to also love it. They know this is a play toy for them. So, they haven't bothered putting a bunch of stickers, anything else like that. Just kept the black paint and down.
I crack up sometimes at the guys that are sort of getting together late in the season, but spend all their time in making it look like the best car, and then it runs like crap.
Yep.
Daniel got this car, took all of Connor's stuff off of it, and then just showed here plain because he wanted to make sure it was mechanically right and coming out to practice. He didn't worry about shining it up and putting a couple $1,000s into a vinyl wrap on there. He was worried about getting himself behind the wheel and making the most amount of practice laps he could this weekend. He was here bright and early Thursday.
Yep. 131 of Mike Nelson has reported for duty there. One of the longtime veterans of the game. Took a couple years off, but joined us last year. It was kind of neat to have him come back.
Yeah, now living in the state of Mississippi, which really doesn't have figure 8 racing, but he still loves the sport and makes the trip up here. Last year with his own car, this time jumping in the second car out of the Bulldog stables.
And he knew he was behind the 8 ball last year with the car he brought. He did just like everybody else, paid for his pit band, paid for his tires.
And you know what? He did his job last year. He ran his race and ran his lines and ended up running a long time, 250 laps or so in the event.
Number 22 of Troy Hughes.
The Outdoorsman Sports Shop has been serving the Greenwood community since 1976 with dedication and expertise. Located at 1010 South State Road 135, they're your one-stop destination for all your hunting, fishing, firearms, archery, and outdoor equipment needs. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop, the sponsor of the Ford Division.
Final 10 minutes of practice, and then we go open qualifying. Final 10 minutes of practice, then we go open qualifying. Hey, if you're coming in, a couple things you can do. One, Hoosier Lottery set up outside of turn 2 of the 8. That'd be turn 3 of the oval. Also, our good friend with Indy Screen Print, restock. They literally have got more coming in tonight because they sold out of sweatshirts last night. And you may want to remember this. It is going to get down about 49, 48 degrees by the time we wrap this up tonight. It is going to be nippy, pretty cold out there. If you don't already have that extra sweatshirt with you, hey, we got you covered over there outside of turn 3 of the 8, turn 1 of the oval, behind the main grandstand, down at the trailer there. Go check him out. He's got you covered. Got the official 3-hour shirts. They're gorgeous. He's got black ones. If they're not there now, they're due out here before we get racing.
I did see the racks pretty full this morning.
Racks are full,
and last night they were full, but then by the time of sundown, they were blown out.
Yep.
So if you're wanting to get one, I'd head over there now early and get that merchandise. It's a nice collectible, and also to help keep you toasty this evening.
He sold out last night on a whole bunch of sizes on the sweatshirts. We didn't expect the turnout we had, but boy, the weather helped pay a bunch of bills over there at Indy Screen Print, which we're proud to be part of that one as well. But go check him out. He's outside behind the main grandstand here, and you can go check him out. He's got you covered. I know a couple other teams had their own shirts for sale. He's got all kinds of things. Not only the official 3-hour shirt, he's got a whole bunch of the racers shirts and a bunch of other goodies out there. You can go check him out behind the main grandstand. Also, underneath my main grandstand, concession stands for you. All kinds of food and drink. Outside of turn 1 of the 8, turn 4 of the oval, it's going to be Jake's Pit Stop, which is a adult beverage stand there. Please, you're welcome to partake of the adult beverages. We just ask you to do so responsibly. And then also across from that is going to be the little ice cream stand, frozen treats, and the like. Got some goodies there. I haven't yet seen, double-checked if the cotton candy's running today, but they usually got the shaved ice making it happen. More concessions down at the south end behind the bleachers there. A little reminder, if you are sitting in the Mike Heimel section, there's to be no smoking, no vaping, no electronic cigarettes, no alcoholic beverages in that section in front of the Mike Heimel signs.
Check out Fifth Ave Grill and Bar. From their famous flame shrimp or Fifth-style wings to the refreshing craft beer or handcrafted cocktails, Fifth Ave is the best place to go pre- or post-race. They are located just minutes from the track on Main Street in Beech Grove. Be sure to tell them that the Speedrome sent you. That's Fifth Ave Grill and Bar.
Last call. Getting up to last call here for chances to get some hot laps in before the final round of qualifying. It's Dustin Hunt making his way out onto the track. A couple other guys trying to take some laps. Let's see. Hughes up to 17.568. Let's switch that around. Thank you. Fastest lap turn to still Jeffrey Shockford, 17.316. Fell already in without the roof, no less. '17 of Corey Harmon out there. He is in. 111 of Sean Cohen managed to make it right at the bubble. 22 Troy Hughes is in as well. 20 Dalton Connors, your fast qualifier. 40 Robbie Greenwell sitting there cranking up as many fast laps as he can possibly find, as he's got to squeeze his way in still today. Dylan Dowsett also trying to get in, as is the 24 machine of Dustin Hunt. Dustin Hunt so far outside looking in on the starting 28. Fastest of the non-qualified so far, Donnie Garrigus the fourth, 17.443, 17.443, the fastest of the non-qualified cars. And that's a huge leap for that team.
Yeah, they were struggle bus yesterday, but went back to the drawing board last night and made some big adjustments, and obviously working out for them this afternoon. BAM Weather is the official weather forecast partner of the Indianapolis Speedrome. BAM is a weather consulting business that provides customized forecast insights and weather data to major businesses and organizations across the globe. That's BAM Weather Forecasting Service.
Stay hydrated, folks. Make sure you cover there with the good fluids. There's banana break time here up in the booth. Plus, you can't hear me a crunch on it. I understand that a few people noticed that when I was having a little apple snack last night, because I dropped my nanner. But make sure you stay well hydrated up in the stands, and you folks at home as well, because you know once this race starts, you don't want to have to leave the seat. So it's maybe catheter time for a couple people at home. You never know.
You speak from experience.
Yeah. I was joking with the people in the tailgating. They were kind of upset they didn't have any porta potties back there for the folks in the tailgaters. Now, we had some in the campground, I thought.
Well, they brought their own.
Right, a lot brought their own. But the folks that are on the tailgate in the parking lot didn't have anything. And I asked if they had Papaw's coffee can that kept in the back of the Pontiac. Someone didn't quite understand the reference there. They realized
maybe it was the word Pontiac.
All right, well, that could be it.
Back Nine Golf and Entertainment experience their state-of-the-art driving range enhanced by in-range technology designed to elevate your game and take your experience to another level. Whether you're an avid player or a beginner, everyone is a winner at Back Nine, the official entertainment partner of the Speedrome. Just about wrapping this up here, Tori, about 5 minutes or so.
Doug Gregg coming out again so far. He's got times good enough to make it in. Best lap was a 17.591. That is second quickest of the non-qualified racers so far.
Doug would be happy with that because his time wasn't near that good last night. So they've also went back to the drawing board.
Now our buddy, and we'll go with the folks in the peanut gallery with their contributions, had an interesting little suggestion here about the 55 machine of Norman. We talked about how, he's going to see how he does for his rookie chase. Will he, he's planning on running this one. As mentioned before, he's had basically zero experience at this level other than what he's gathered here the last 2 days. Norman, according to Larry Hammonds, we'll start you as the rumor monger, Larry. He's claiming that Norman, if he doesn't make the starting 28, might just sit out and do it next year. So we've seen that already with a couple races over the years. We saw Matt Smith himself, his cousin, make that decision himself a couple years back. Matt put together probably the most extensive practice program of any racer we've ever had out here, in which he literally drove more laps in hot laps in practice than all the racers in the race did. But sat out that 1 year and then came back the next, rookie of the race, and top 3 or 4, whatever it was, second place, whatever it was, he finished there. Great finish, and basically set the mark and got the rookie honors, etc. We saw it also this year with Johnny Hargraves Jr. opting to go ahead and give up the ride that he finished the season with, kind of a backup ride to the team, giving that to Dustin Hunt to have a shot with. And Johnny Hargraves Jr. is going to sit it out and come out and try his rookie race next year. So it is an option there for the 55 machine. It would preserve, provided he does not actually hit the track, it would preserve his rookie status should he choose not to run. So that may come to play here as we got the 11 machine of Curtis Humans and the 74 Dustin Hunt, the 21 of Dylan Douthit, 21 of Doug Riddle, all three trying to get into the game. Yes, sir.
Indy's Best Towing is the on-track towing provider of Speedrome Racing. Whether rescuing a car out on track or providing quality roadside assistance, they are there for you with their experienced staff and top-notch equipment. When you're in distress, call the best at Indy's Best Towing, 317-446-5655.
Chad Sizemore back out again.
Sneaking in here, just a couple, 3 minutes here left.
He already did him a 17.409, third best time of the day so far. In fact, the fastest was, of course, your pole sitter.
And he just set that here just a few minutes ago.
17.2 for Dalton Connor, 17.2316 for Shackelford, 17.409 for Sizemore. Donnie Garrigus, the fourth, 17.443 is a great lap.
Again, if he backs that up, he's going to drive it straight in and put it on jack stands.
I know that they were... They had to be kicking themselves. They couldn't find that last night.
Yeah. I know he's been getting a lot of help here the last couple of events from 2010 World Figure 8 champion R.J. Norton Jr. and the crew. And DG2 down there helping as well.
Yeah. Doug Gregg, 17.559. Some more unqualified there. Steve Durham finally getting where he needs to be, 17.650. Dylan Douthit, 17.704. Let's see. Doug Riddle, 17.874. So they're getting where they need to be here for those final 8 spots, starting spots. Of course, anybody not qualifying for the starting 8 goes in as an alternate. Be added to the field as the race progresses.
Everybody races, and you could even show up after qualifying's over and have no qualifying time.
Lord knows we've seen it before.
We'll flop you into the alternates line there and get you a chance to get out there.
Somebody call up to South Bend and get Jerry Lewis on down here. Well, one of the Harson boys maybe show up. I don't know, but
Ronnie and Ernie.
Yep. Well, Mike was the one that had the success there. Man, he took that little Junkie Street Stock.
He won the very first Sonny Thompson Award, if I'm remembering right.
Man, he had that number 11 Little Red Street Stock. Was really just a straight up nothing. Yeah, I think he had like 1 or 2 oval wins that year.
Yeah.
But no, Mike had a heck of a season, or a heck of a run with that Street Stalker. We're over here reminiscing some of the past 3 hours here.
And speaking of that, at that same time, Humans comes out on the track and a throwback machine there. Something we've seen from the past, similar type deals. Creativity.
That's what it boils down to. It's like, as I mentioned on our Facebook when we first heard he was coming up here, that is the embodiment of the open competition concept. Take what you got, make something else with it, and go. You know.
Yeah. Got like a George Blair Jr. type feel to it.
There you go. Good point. Yeah, that brings back some memories there, Jim. I remember some of the earlier experiments. Of course, the more famous experience with the wings on top of Speedrome cars was, of course, Ray Bray's stuff.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with it.
But the first Speedromer to be on the pole for the World Figure 8 Championship, 1979.
Yep. But he had, prior to the introduction of this race, you know, had gremlins with wings, all sorts of weird configurations you're allowed to do back in the day. Are they wrapping it up? It is. It's 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Time to go qualifying. Holy cow. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Indianapolis Speedrome. Oh, it's going to be a long day for all of us. Glad to have you with us here. We'll get to know each other real well. Hope you like me. Scott and I up here as well. Keep me on the straight and narrow. Unlike a few of the people I met, I met some people there tailgating today. That made you wonder what's going on. The little guy with the hey dudes. He didn't have the good hey dudes. He had the he had the nay dudes. You know, he's got the little the budget hey dudes.
Say, did you want those? Nah, dude, I don't want them.
Nay. Yeah, it was pretty sad there. But no, had some fun with the folks over there tailgating. Hope you guys are all having fun up there. Little reminders. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you too. Okay, or are you just airing the pits out? Okay, good to see. All right, but glad to have you come out and join us. Tori Styles on this side, Scott and I over there, and we're getting ready for qualifying.
Yep, they're going to give a couple minutes here and track inspection and get it ready and get everybody set up. And then the drivers will need to head through the tech line.
Yep.
They'll run across the scales, and it's first come, first serve for the cars that are not locked in. And then they'll get unlimited attempts during this, I believe,
1 hour
session.
1 hour.
So there's basically 18 cars back there that are eligible, or 19 cars now that are eligible to qualify to try to get one of those last 8 starting grid spots.
Yep.
And then the folks that qualify 9th on back in today's qualifying will be the order of the alternates line, and they'll be added throughout the event. And even when they're added, the folks that came off track can come back out on track, so the field could get bigger as the event goes on.
This was one unique aspect of that that's kind of borrowed from an old road racing type tradition going way back when, some of the enduro type, but it basically boils down to the essence of the enduro concept, which is we keep going. You know, if it's length of time, this is a timed event. It's not a length event. We can be anywhere from 150 laps to 512 laps.
Yep.
All depending, how much we squeeze into that 3 hours. Look for a whole lot of strange laps to run on green.
Yeah, and 5:12 is the record for the 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. And last year we were up around 490 or so. We were in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we got somewhere up in that 470, 480 range as well tonight. So a lot of laps, a lot of action, and a lot of times to be safe through that crossover and survive action in the turns as well.
And the excitement here tonight is a lot of good rookies for this event. It has just been phenomenal. Some of the talent we've seen come up there for the first attempt, first try.
Yeah, and we've got rookies that could are on the list of folks that could win the race as well this evening.
So got a couple already in, but a few more trying to bump their way in. Again, the game plan, only 8 make it into the starting field. We start 28. We locked in 20 last night. Top 8 tonight are in. Everybody else is an alternate. And your fast qualifier even gets some bonus money. Your buddy Danny Key's kicking a little cash in.
Yeah, $300 to the driver that ends up fastest here this afternoon in this qualifying. And I'll go ahead and run through the 20 drivers that locked in last night. And this is their starting order for those 20 locked-in cars. Dalton Connor first, Mark Tunney second, Jesse Tunney third, Jeffrey Shackelford fourth, Ben Tunney fifth, Troy Hughes Jr. sixth, Mike Riddle Jr. seventh, Kevin Brooks 8th, Matt Johnson 9th, and Tommy St. John rounding out the top 10. 11 through 20 include Race Loving, Mike Hadley Jr., Chad Sizemore, Matt Smith, Corey Harmon, John Carlson, Austin Tunney, Ben Limbach, Charlie Hargraves, and your final person to lock in last night, the 111 machine of Sean Cullen in 20th.
And that was one we talked about at the time. We didn't think he was anywhere near where he had to be to make it as one of the sloppiest fast laps he's ever ran. But it looked
the time don't lie.
Yeah, it was like we looked at the clock and it just kind of. I was looking for the old days we used to actually have a hand timer on it that somebody slipped a little bit, liked him or something. And no, but he was like kind of wiggly waggling down the straight and just kind of lackadaisical through the turn and.
Just kept the power down just right. And
it struck me as the opposite of what we used to see the old Charlie Reed qualifying, where he made a ton of noise and didn't do a lot of speed.
Yep.
But
got him in, let him sleep well last night.
Yeah. That Colin gets to be locked in, ready to go. He gets to watch the rest of these guys fight and bite for it. Already got it. I saw Dylan Riddle. Boy, Doug Riddle. I had to work on this 21 thing. They're in line. They're all going to go through the tech line first. One last check up from the neck up and the
and also not only do they cross the scales, but they'll scan the tires because they need to be running the same set of tires that they used during qualifying last night. They got those back out of the impound barn earlier this afternoon and put those on the car, so they can't bolt on a fresh set or anything. So they're still using the tires that they put up those times with last night. So that's equal playing field for all those folks.
And anybody think that you're not the Walmart, it's not going to be a self scan. We got the officials take care of that into things there.
Can't put 5 things in the bag and beep it once across the scanner.
Who's your lottery down there in turn number 3? Well, turn number 2 of the 8. Y'all guys doing okay?
They're in the southwest turn.
I'll tell you. There you go. We'll go south. Yeah, in the southwest
Vista. Back ticket gate.
There you go.
But go visit them folks over there. Got some neat stuff over there. Play some games and maybe scratch off something lucky over there.
And then, of course, once again, a reminder, those of you on the general admission seats, we ask if you are planning on filming a lot, standing up a lot, please quickly grab a spot on the top row so that you're not blocking through anybody else. And also, there's several places down in the bleacher area with that inset area for those needing the special seating for wheelchairs and the like. Please make sure you accommodate those and make them welcome. We have set picnic tables all over. Please don't take them as your permanent, but feel free to enjoy them.
Sunbelt Rentals is a leader in the equipment rental industry. With a vast network of locations across North America and an expansive portfolio of products and services, Sunbelt Rentals delivers solutions to support any job. Sunbelt Rentals is the official equipment partner of the Speedrome, as well as the sponsor of the flag stand and the hospitality suite. That's Sunbelt Rentals.
And my buddy Mark Daly out there checking us out. We are also live. And I've got a quiet moment. We have a app we recommend for you on your smart device, especially you've got the earbuds and you brought your extra battery pack. We are on Track Tunes, an app for your smart device called Track Tunes, TrackTunes. Get that downloaded there. Get your earbuds in. You can hear the PA all night long over the roar of the crowd. So just keep that in mind, something to help you out in the stands. If you are trying to follow the electronic timing, that is available on the Race Monitor app or the My Race Pass. Both of those are subscription services you got to pay for, but you're welcome to get on there and you can follow the raw timing data of our racing events. That does not include, however, the actual official scoring, but gives you a pretty good idea where things are at. But it's the raw timing data, subject to change due to things like cutting tires and that sort of thing. But we welcome you all to the Indianapolis Speedrome here at the corner of Brookville Road and Kitley Avenue. Been here since 1941 and been running this race since 1977. And, boy, Scott and I, we've been talking the last couple of days up in the booth here. Great plan for the 50th running here in 2026.
Yes, several of us have been compiling notes and things for ideas for making the 50th the biggest and boldest event of the year. And that's not just the actual 3 hours of the racing. That's starting early in the week and things that go on all week long, and a lot of cool stuff that we've got planned for next year in the 50th annual, and we're going to start announcing that stuff in the next few months and build it up all season long and just make it the biggest and most awesome World Figure 8 Championship that anybody has ever seen next year's 50th anniversary race.
And I look forward to a lot of fun as well. Don't forget, we still got more racing the rest of the season. You can check it out at speedrome.com. And here comes our first one to try to bump his way in. Dylan Douthit already showed speed good enough to get in there. But he's going to be behind the 8-ball start, whatever it is, because basically you start in 21st, 28th, 7th, or 22nd, 23rd, etc. You're kind of starting just out of sight of the leaders. And that means it's going to be real quick. Those leaders will be on you coming crossways at the X.
Yep, but he's not worrying about that at this particular minute. This particular minute, he's liking to put up a time that would be nice and safe and get himself into the field, and then he can start sweating those bullets as we get closer to green flag time.
And the other catch is you can be the fastest guy here all weekend, but you still start no better than 21st.
Yep.
So as we've seen in the past, Bruce Tunney, as you remind everybody, actually was fastest one year and was not the pole sitter.
Yeah, he started 21st in the race that year and ended up winning the event. So getting ready to pull out the first car here, Dylan Douthit. At the gate, he's staged and ready to go here. We got, I think this is going to be a 1-hour session here of qualifying and unlimited tips. And here he comes, the little dog himself, Dylan Douthit, for our first attempt here on Saturday.
Dylan, of course, spent a couple seasons just very tentatively part of the scene here and not really willing to commit into the 8 especially, and especially into the 3-hour. But last year, boy, he slammed it. I tell you, he was
finished in the top 10 in the points the last 2 seasons and won him a figure 8 2 years ago.
Yep. Definitely proven to be one of the stars and one of the younger ones as well. We welcome also the missus up north. I don't know if she came here to join us tonight or she had north of the border. Have we figured out?
She's got a passport. I know
All
that.
right, there we go. And that's going to work. 17.617, 17.617, his best lap.
Currently fast time here on Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Trying to grab Danny Key's $300.
And that actually would have been good enough for about 15th last night, to give you an idea when he's squeezing in. Pete Bear next up in the number 24 machine, and only the second night he's been out with racing with us here in 2025.
Yep, got some good practice in last night. Just missed out making the field. He's been in the starting field here before. Let's see if he can get himself a good time here for tonight.
Okay, first one was a 19.102. Again, no matter what they do, we're after the fastest 8. They'll be going on the tail end of the field, starting 21st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, etc. He'll come in at 18.268, 18.268.
Might not make it in, but, you never know how this shakes out, so you put your time up. That's sort of a banker qualifying run. Well, I'm sure we'll see Pete Bear back out again.
All unqualified cars to the tech line, please. All unqualified cars to the tech line. All unqualified cars to the tech line. They are going, as you heard Scott mention, through tech, being checked over one last time, making sure they got the legit tires on board. There is a cup check, I hear, but they're getting that, make sure they're in ready to go.
And any of those 19 cars that are here and eligible, if they don't turn in a time here during this session, again, we'll add them to the alternates list, and they're welcome to participate in the race. It's just going to hamper the spot that they come in off the alternates list.
Douthit comes right back out again, and that's exactly how it works. It is unlimited attempts, as many as you can get around to come back out for, but you got to go through tech each time.
Yep, and his tires are hot here, so he's hoping to capitalize on it. He probably drove around there and said, hey, there's nobody in line, let's give it a shot.
Exactly, and I think you're dead right there. So we need racers to the tech line, please. Racers to the tech line. You only have an hour here. First go round was a 17.617. That we know should be good enough to get in. But I think his game plan is, we saw that 17.4 that Doug Gregg had.
Yeah, if he can get that here on this one, he might be just done qualifying.
Or like Garrigus had the 17.4. Oh, what was that all about? 17.561 was actually an improvement, though. I think almost like he missed his mark, locked him up there.
He don't want to do that too often here.
No, he doesn't. Robbie Greenwell trying to get in. One of the guys coming in from the Sportsdrome area.
This will be his first attempt here this afternoon.
Yep. Bob Greenwell Trucking Special.
Yep, Dad Darren turning wrenches back there on this machine.
Yep, glad to have that family back on board. They've been very, very exciting to watch here over the years, both here as well as the Sportsdrome. But I do believe they changed flight paths up there, because these airplanes are kind of coming at a different angle these days. I've noticed
You mean we didn't just have a flyover?
I think, well, we did a bit high, but usually they'll take a little bit to the south of us. That got headed on probably off to the east coast. And Greenwell, 17.523, quickest of the non-qualified so far.
He's going to be super happy with that, I believe.
Uh-huh. Coming up next is going to be the Hound Hauler. You folks have seen it before. It's caught all the buzz here. You either loved it or you hated it, but this one actually new improved, run a bit faster than last year's version, I do believe. Sean Moore behind the wheel. Of course, it's going to be John Laval and Gordon Brown behind the wrenches and the planning, and a couple other of that Florida crew. He's been having fun with this thing. They actually wrecked at least one version of it here this summer. Got it patched up again. Sean Moore doing pretty good down there in the Florida points chase there for their local open comp races there that run in the Auburndale Speedway and around. And looking forward to seeing a bunch of those guys coming up here in a few months in November as Robert Yoho has got another event happening down at the Showtime Speedway. Right down that line you were talking about. Takes it all the way up. Oh, keeps it off the wall. And that's a 17.820. That may be good enough to make the starting field. We'll have to see what happens as Pete Bear returns in the number 24.
Yeah, Bear last time out, his time was an 18.268, so he's definitely looking to improve with that.
You can see the nature of the beast now. Douthit already back in line. Make another run at it.
Pete Bear was an 18.1 last night, so we know he's got a time that's pretty close to get in if he can get back in that range.
Little shade, the cloud cover there may be helping out a bit, cooling down the track. 18.318 for that one. Again, as you mentioned before, these guys coming out quickly. The tire's still nice and hot, warmed up, scuffed up, ready to go. Engine's still ready to go. He's got, and that's a 17.789, his personal best there.
There we go. Got a little adjustment after that first run.
He's got to be tickled about that one.
Yeah. Feels a little better. Still not,
they had struggled to get under 18 seconds, but did so with a solid little slam. Leads right into Jim Lapel. Oh, man. Got Pop Daddy Joe, though, back in town. Easing her on through. Brought old Stinky with him. Lapel, of course, been setting us on fire here this year. Talk about some girl power. Boy, she has been the popularity of this young lady there in the stands here at the Speedrome and beyond. They just light up and they get a chance to meet her there. She's a fantastic, a perfect ambassador for our sport. It's just been such an honor to be able to work with her here and the Polk Brothers crew. Picked
up some really good runs here in the last half of the season.
Yep, a couple top 10 finishes with us, and let's see if she can pick up some speed, though. 18.065 is your fifth quick so far. You have to find a little bit more. Look for her to go straight back into line and bring out Robert Greenwell back out again. Greenwell's best lap earlier was at 17.523, best of the day so far.
Yeah, I think this is more of trying to take advantage of that temperature in the tires than him thinking that time's not good enough. I think it's more of that.
One of the factors we do have to keep in mind was the track last night. We had that sprinkle come along, and it never really poured, never really rained, but just that moisture and dampness, I think, did seem to put a little dampness on the festivity, so to speak. We saw some good times coming towards the end, but for the longest while, we saw a whole lot of guys we used to seeing at 17.7 struggling to get 17.8s and 9s. And there you go, Robert Greenwell, 17.571, matches well with that 17.573. Just 5/100ths of a second off from his previous best, so no improvement, though. Dylan Douthit back again in the number 21. This is going to be 21D, by the way.
And actually, that's 0.3 better than what Greenwell ran last night.
They've done found a little something overnight. Douthit, another one, 17.561, his best lap so far. Takes a wide approach into turn number one. That's turn number one, by the way, the flag stand turn there going right. Turn number two. Sweeps on around. Lets it swing on over to the right hand a little bit. Takes a nice wide run all the way off the patches there. And let's see how he lines up there on that right side line like he's been talking about all week long. Aims it right for the tire. 17.354, fastest of the day now goes to Douthit in the 21D.
Yeah, we might not see him back.
Yep, this is one we've been watching. Curious to see what's going to happen here. The Black Maria there. This is Daniel Norman out of Greencastle, Indiana. making his debut not only in the World Championship 3-hour figure endurance race, but in figure eight racing in general. Comes out of a couple years worth of late model dirt racing lately. Prior to that, he did a couple of Ford races, including a couple appearances on a figure eight off and on here, but not exactly anything like he specialized in. Picked up a very nice car there from John Connor Sr. and company. John Connor Jr., who's the senior these days. Trying to get in. Rumor has it if he doesn't make starting 28, he may wait till tomorrow to make his rookie debut. We'll see what happens. He's trying to find and bump his way in. This, of course, will be good enough for 6 quick so far. And that is one of his personal bests, 18.179. 18.179 is a personal best for Daniel Norman for the weekend. Not bad at all for a guy who literally had never raced a late model on the 8 ever until Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Number 21 machine. This is Doug Riddle trying to bump his way in. Team thought they were doing pretty good last night, but they had somebody else's transponder registered. They were getting somebody else's times as theirs. And that kind of messed up the planning a little bit there in the garage. They thought they were doing about half a second faster than they actually were. First one's an 18.514, 18.514, and this is your 7th qualifier here today. And that means we're going to get one more and then start bumping. 18.514 for Riddle. Sets it up right along the line. Not quite as low an approach, but it's an 18.005. Still trying to get under that 18-second mark, but 18.005. 7 cars so far have been added to the field. The G4, Donnie Garrigus, the 4th. This is one we saw right at the tail end of that last practice session, picking up a 17.4 lap. Very much good enough to make it into the main, into the starting field last night. Couldn't pull it last night, though. They pulled it this morning. Takes it to the left-hander, swings way wide for the approach to start the fast lap. You call them the mock lap and then the real lap. Swings around wide, carries a lot of speed into one, around the bend, take close there to the tire in turn number 2. Lines up the wide approach once again in 3, sweeps on around, off the patches there on the north end, and now see if he lines up on that right-hand line, lines up along the long line, aim for that marker. Good enough for 5th quick, and it's 17.944, and we're going to start bumping. 17.944 for Donnie Garrigus. And we're going to start bumping. Pete Bear already in. That's not going to make any difference here. The chance to improve his time. Best time for previous, 17.789. Put together your cheat cards?
Something like that.
Okay. Bear lines up for his fast lap. We seem to be talking about actually 2 separate grooves they'll take. Some of these guys, as Scott and I spotted here the other day, you have one, the mock run, where there's basically almost a race lap, where they take kind of swing and wide, especially in that they go to turn number 1, and then one will be the real lap. Bear improves to a 17.670, 17.670. Norman on the bubble, 18.179. Robbie Greenwell coming out. He's already in with a 17.523. But they'll take some of these guys, especially last night when we were looking at the Dalton Connors and a few of the others trying to set those fast times. They'll take a race-type lap, which kind of swings wide, but then they come for this final approach for the real time, the real lap, a little bit wide coming off of into turn number 1. Take on there, sweep on around turn number 2. Now aim for the north end. Let it swing over to the right-hand side. Carry a lot of speed there into 3. Here comes around 4. Now they're going to line up on that right-hand line there. Aim straight for that marker there. Shortest distance across the timing stripe. And did it work? It did. 17.447. 17.447 for Robbie Greenwell.
Yeah, improvement in time. Unfortunately, not an improvement in position, but that may make him safer as it goes along here.
Okay, the first of the bump opportunities. Trying to get in, the veteran, ladies and gentlemen. More races than a lot of these guys have ever seen. In the number 71, this is Steve Frost. Steve Frost in 71.
Steve looking to make his 35th straight appearance in the World Figure 8 Championship.
He's basically older than close to half the field here this year. More attempts. First one, of course, a warm-up, 18.5 seconds, 18.550.
Steve had about 14, 15 starts in the books before Dalton Connor was born.
There you go. In fact, he did run against Connor's dad.
Yeah.
He'd run against his no, Connor Sr. was not racing then. Did not take that low. He is not bumping his way in with an 18.448, 18.448. He did not take that run you're talking about going down that right-hand lane, that right-hand line. Curtis Human's trying to get in the number 11, the Mopar Special. Got a bunch of folks out there in the Sunshine State cheering for this guy. My boy Azar Bunch was here in the Hoosier State. Proud to see the fellow that embodies what we're after here with these open comp, open fun run type vehicles. Former dirt late model. He himself is a fabricator there, building a little bit of everything from cars to golf carts. Flies airplanes when he can in the free time, whenever he's got one working again. Curtis Humans coming out of Floral City, Florida. Trying to get it in. Can he bump his way in? Has speed 18. Does not with an 18.585. Norman still on the bubble there with an 18.179. 18.179 is your bump speed right now. And this is Mike Nelson. A couple Florida connections. We used to call him Sunshine because it was, well, basically not a nice nickname to have. A disastrous day down at the Showtime Speedway now, as we call it, the old Pinellas Park racetrack. Part of the old General Tire Series way back when, in which Mike Nelson, Bruce Tunney, a horrific crash, a couple broken legs all around. Bruce Tunney being the superstar at the time, got the helicopter ride. Mike Nelson had to be tossed in the back of somebody's pickup truck and sent to the hospital. So, but Mike, now living in Mississippi, come up to run with us. Got the car off of Bobby Whitaker and trying to put her in the field. First lap, 2:14.99, 2:14.99. So far, Norman is safe. Lines up and gets a lap in. It's going to be 2:01.18. Not good enough to bump in. Sean Moore next up. Sean Moore next up in the K9, the Hound Hauler. So far in, fourth quick for the day, 17.820, 17.820 for Sean Moore. Bump time again is going to be that Daniel Norman 18.179, but this will not affect as Sean Moore already in. Just trying to improve his spot a bit and make sure he don't get bumped out. Because we still got guys like Ricky Puckett to come along.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen him soon, but he missed sort of the back half of that practice session, so I can only imagine they were making a lot of adjustments.
Yep, first lap for Moore there was an 18.138, 18.138. His best lap was a 17.820. Swings wide, goes down the stripe you're talking about, Scotty Nye. That's going to be the Scott Nye stripe. Whoopsie! Keeps from pitching it in there and improves to a 17.593, 17.593.
Definitely going to like that.
Not sure how he ends up with an odd number of laps. I missed that one. But, yes, definite improvement there. And we actually had seen that last night, though. He just never could repeat it, whatever was going on with that great lap. This is Doug Gregg. Former champion of this division, former champion in multiple championships here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Fabricator, grandfather of Speedrome champs, and now a chance to shine here, trying to get in for yet another 3 hour. And hey, I think he's been to a couple of these before.
Yeah, this would be his record-extending 36th appearance in the 3 hour figure eight endurance race. Just one more race than Steve Frost.
There you go. So if you do the math, that means that with 49 of them, this will be his 36th. Not too very many of these without Doug Gregg. 17.518, 17.518. That bumps out Daniel Norman, puts Jalen Lopato on the pole, or on the bubble. Bump speed is now an 18.065, 18.065.
I think that's one of the fastest laps Doug's turned all weekend, actually.
Yeah. It's a sweet little lap there. He's going to want to stick with that one.
Well, and we go from someone now on the bubble, now gotten put on the bubble.
Yep, Jillian, chance to get herself at least a little bit of wiggle room now, because we got one or two cars still back there.
Yeah, again, I think there's 19 total.
18.497, 18.497 ain't going to work.
That are on the property eligible to put in a qualifying lap here today. So still got 6 or 7 back there.
She has the current bump time, 18.065, trying to improve on it. And she's not doing your Scott 9 lap there, is she?
No.
And 18.075, not an improvement. Only 1/100th of a second off of her previous best. They can come right back on us. They just have to go through tech again. This will be Dustin Hunt in the 74. At least I didn't know the other name. Dustin Hunt, of course, Mike Hunt's brother.
Now he's going to use this first lap to scuff things in.
Yeah. This is his first qualifying run here today.
Yeah, let's see what he did last night.
Last
night, Dustin was a 19.394. He's been better than that already today in practice.
Yeah, he was like a week and a half last night, so he doesn't even want to think about that.
This first lap's not going to be that good because he's scuffing tires in there.
20219.
Yep.
Swings up wide, takes on the left-hander, right out to the middle of that patch, way up to the top side of that one. That's when the interesting point is how high they're running between 3 and 4. And another one right down the middle. And Hunt is 10th quick, 18.242. Not good enough to bump out Jillian. Jillian's still on the bubble. Sets up the 21 machine of Doug Riddle. He's in, but he's actually one spot off the bubble with an 18.005. He needs a little insurance spot. Try to move up a touch. And he's one that's been on the struggle because he's not been under 18 seconds all weekend. We thought he was doing there at 17 and a half, but that was like when they had the messed up transponder situation.
Yeah. In the last few years, he's kind of been on that danger zone. He's either been in the race at the back half or he's just been one of those first couple of alternates. So he's had to survive this bubble deal on both sides of it the last few years.
18.373 to warm it up. So he's improving on 18.005. Very, very slow approach. He's going to go take the Scott Nye lane. Drifts off a little bit early. And does not do any good. 18.294 would not be improve his position. And leads us right into the G4 of Donnie Garrigus, the fourth. Already right now the sixth best qualifier, 17.944. Another one's just right on the edge.
Well, and we know from practice he can go another 4/10 faster than that.
Well, I'll say.
So definitely wants to get a little higher. You know, he's only a couple spots off getting bumped out. So.
Yeah, I think they learned something last night. Something happened last night because they dial it in, but then they just didn't stop dialing, and he dialed himself back out again.
Yeah, he's not going to be afraid to throw it in down here. I know with DG4, he's an aggressive fella.
But a family of racers has been with us every single 3 hours. Had at least one Garrigus in it.
Yep.
There you go. Check out how far he was on your line. There you go, 17.574, 17.574 for the G4, DG4.
Happy about that.
Yep.
When he come around, he probably looked up and saw his time up there on the pylon and said, hey, that's much better.
This is Ricky Puckett in the number 99, and we looked for him all last night. Turned out he has transmission, went to load it up. Transmission was no good. Put the call out on the Facebook there, sent out the Social Warriors.
Yeah, that too.
Yep, and put the call out for a Bert's transmission. So, Bert, what do you know, Bert? And trying to find one. They found one.
Well, the first one he found was an Ernie, and it didn't fit very well.
It does not, nope.
And then he needed a Bert.
Yep. But let's see, still a little bit off. That sounded weak. Is that going to be good enough? It is not. 10th quick at 18.199, 18.199.
But that was his first try here today.
It was. He can go straight back around into the line. Pete Bear returns in 24. He's in 6th quick at a 17.670, trying to improve. Again, we have 28 starters now. We're just now filling up the final couple spots there. Put them in order, plus set the alternates route. About a half hour remain for the qualification attempts. As many as you want, as many as you can cram in that time. Pete Bear in the 24. 18.253. His best is a 17.670. Trying to improve a little bit. Goes down to the line. Does not do your Scott Nye groove. And it shows with 17.850, no improvement. Robbie Greenwell come back out again. Second quick for the day, 17.447. I think they may actually find, I think they want Danny Key's money is what it boils down to. They want that $300 bonus.
Danny may be standing at the gate back there with cash, waving it at him while they're in the qualifying line and saying, hey, this could be yours.
That or somebody's going to make sure he's not out in the parking lot, I tell you.
Danny always a supporter of racing around here at the Speedrome, whether behind the wheel or sponsoring some bonus awards.
Well, thank you, Danny. And Greenwell on his run. That 4.47, trying to improve. Lines up on the stripe, all the way under the stripe. Drifts up and washes out a little bit. No, 4.760. Got to give him a nod there for consistent, though. 4.47, 4.76. But
yeah, he tried to run it in there, but I think he thought his ankle was a little funky, so he had to hit the brakes a little early so he didn't end up in disaster.
Yep, Danny Norm bumped out, trying to bump his way back in the Black Maria 55. Lines up. And he's another one. Has basically had to learn everything from the ground up as far as taking out and take care of these laps. Look for speed, look for moves, look for grooves, and here we go. Takes the approach into turn number 1. Goes in for a high, shoots low, sweeps around turn number 2. Not real sturdy on the throttle from my ears. Way up high there between 3 and 4. Lines up, comes up and does not do the Scott and I groove. Diagonals across, and I don't think he improved, did he? Nope. 18.390 his best on that go-round.
Who got next here, Tori? Looks like, is that Frosty coming back out?
Frosty trying to make another run. 12th quick for the day so far. Best time, 18.448. The bump time is an 18.065, Joan Lepato. Took me another breath. Throat drop. Sugar-free. Watch for the diabetes. Frosty trying to cut his way in there, make his way in. 18.4562 on that one. Frosty's one of those been in the alternates lane before. He has a tendency to go out there and still have a good time with it.
Yeah.
He's more than once picked up the Sonny Thompson the Most Improved Award.
Yeah, for sure.
Does not do better. Well, yeah, he did do a little bit better. Didn't help him any. 18.340.
Yeah, he's not one, it seems like, with one of those Bonsai type runs. You know, I don't think that's, you know.
Wow. Here you go. I think he got, 2 laps in last night?
Yeah.
31 machine. Bobby Whitaker. Another fellow that's in the...
Yeah, the only 2 laps I think he turned last night was qualifying attempt number 1.
Yep.
And never saw him again. He would never practiced.
Nope.
So
he's good about that.
Yep. So Bobby will use these couple of attempts here and see what he's got. Definitely not got speed just yet.
Bobby's one of those guys that when the place gets sold, he goes with the lease. You know, he goes. He's
part of the furniture.
He's part of the property. He's at this point just putting time in there for the Norton Transport Special. Mike Heimel on board as well. Backing his buddy there, Bobby Whitaker, and yeah, this is literally he's treating this as a warm-up lap as well. So we're not going to be sweating that time. 20.444 would put him as one of the fast qualifiers in the Fords last night.
Of course, Bobby's not had many laps on this newer car for him as he finally got it finished up here about 2 weeks ago.
15 cars so far taking times. On the bubble is still going to be Joan Lepato there, the 18.065. Take a quick look. Make sure you...
Still got a couple of people back there, 3 or 4 people that we haven't seen turn a qualifying attempt yet, so we'll anxiously await them.
Tenth Perry, remember... Even if you think you can't make the transfer, make sure you get this time in to get your spot there onto the alternates list. And taking a peek.
Yeah, it should be a 17, I believe, that are eligible or that are on property.
Okay.
So we
got
2
Sloans to go.
Yes, that's the 2 we're missing. Thank you. Good call. And then they might be ones that we just see an attempt or 2 out of them and take their spot and get ready to go. Not concerned about qualifying for them today. They're concerned about racing.
What did they pick up? What did they pick up? 3/16. This word from Race Control, this just in from Race Control. It was a 3/16 wrench this time, folks. 3/16. No metrics here at the Speedrome. No siree, Bob. Don't have me no 10 millimeter.
Yeah.
3/16 on that wrench there found on the track. Of course, that goes into the Jack Jenkins Memorial Toolbox out there in the pit office. As we get ready to bring out another car, so we get by parked back in their position of relative safety. As we Doug Gray come back out again, 3rd quick for the day, 17.518. Going to try and prove himself a little bit. Already already safely, we'll call it safely, in the field. He's trying to move up another row or so. 18.018 for that run. Swings on around to the north end, way up off the patches there on the track. And he's going to run the Scott Nye groove right down the line for a bit, but drifts up to the middle for a 17.718. Actually, was 0.2 of a second. His best lap was still his second qualifying lap, the first pass. 17.518 still stands. And this is the first appearance here on the clock of Dennis Sloan, longtime veteran of the wars here. Part of a family of racers, going back to a fellow who was in some of the very first runs. That is his father, Don Sloan. Over the years, we've seen his brother Donnie and Greg, and of course his son Anthony.
Anthony making his first appearance. So another one of those father-son combos running in the same World Figure 8 Championship race that we were talking about last night.
Happened a couple times, but let's see. Anybody else? Nobody else this year, is it?
I don't think so this year.
At least not that we've seen the paternity test for.
Yeah. Not officially.
So gets his laps in there, enough to make sure he's lined up for the alternates, and back in the pits he'll go. His game plans come out and do a bunch of laps later on and see what finishes up with. Lepedo trying to get herself up a little bit higher on top of the charts because she knows, she came in, her bump time was at 18.065. Norman was about 1/10 of a second back at 18.179, and Pucket about 2/10 back at 18.199. So she knows she's going to have to get a little bit better out of this one. Let's see what kind of groove she's going to run. Going to swing it up here to the left side of the lane, dive down onto the marker there in turn number 1, way off the patch. Now he goes, now covers down again. Uses that momentum to get her up the hill, and use the hill to help split her up a little bit, come back down again. Top of the patches there at the north end, left hand. Sets up. No, she does not do the Scott Nye run to the line, but she did improve to a 17.883. Finally kicks that little 18-second mark in the gut, and she is in. It's going to put Doug Riddle on the bubble with an 18.005, and this is the first run for Steve the Bull Durham in the Andy Shirley 44 Special. Project, missed out on what the project was on that one. Our buddy Andy Shirley on this one as well, probably with with Steve's own 3D squad. Of course, it's an older car. It's black and white. They didn't have color back then. Project Rescue, there we go.
Going to try to rescue some speed here with a nice qualifying lap.
He's going for more of this classic in 6 quick, 17.638. And Jill Lepato back on the bubble now. Lepato goes back on the bubble. Bubble speed is going to be a 17.883 now. This is Dustin Hunt. Best lap so far for Dustin, 18.242, 18.242. Trying to shoehorn his way in with about just under 15 minutes remain. Let's see, is that about right? 3:42 wraps up. Oh, no, a bit more. About a half hour remains, so still about a half hour remains for qualifying. This is, again, unlimited qualification attempts, so if you want to run home, grab your car, bring it in, come on down.
Yep, and even if you don't make it for qualifying, jump in the alternates line.
We'll put you in the alternates line. There you go. That's always been the beauty of this race. And
we've had alternates finish third in this race before. So anything's possible.
Yep. We had alternates lead laps in this race. So
absolutely.
And I think Dustin just have to be done with that. 18.315 wasn't going to make it.
Here comes your buddy Curtis Yeomans here.
Woo!
I think this second or third attempt. Second attempt.
He's the hero we need.
Yep.
Throws in, goes sideways, trying to keep it together there, as are we all.
18.44 there.
And not going to get you in. He's going to have to be a sub-18. Sub-18. In fact, yeah, we are now officially sub-18 there all around. 17.883 is your bump speed.
but still can move up in the alternates list.
And nope, 859 ain't going to help much. Sister Sylvia on board. His kids, Stephen and Ashley, want to make sure they know about that. But he's over at Belcastro. He's also got an interesting one. 21st Century Girls. They run a women's rescue operation.
Nice.
It is kind of a. I had to take. I'll take him at his word, but okay.
Actually,
wasn't Lim Drop Kid about something like that? Your buddy Rick at Pucket's on.
Yeah, attempt number 2 for Mr. Pucket. He's just outside looking in, a couple of spots off getting in the field there.
Trying to bump Jim Lepeto out once again. 18.199, 18.7. It was his best. 18.711 that time. He does not do. He's going to pitch it sideways for that one. Did it work?
Yep.
It did. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Eighth quick puts himself on the bubble. 17.813. 7/100ths of a second better than Lepeto's, but puts him on the bubble. Sean Moore already in with 17.593. Trying to get a little insurance behind him.
Might have to drop a couple of hounds off in the pit area, maybe
Not
lighten
done.
her up a little bit, see if he can get some more time out of this.
I've not yet seen Anthony Sloan make it to the track. Still got that one out in the pit somewhere.
Yeah, he got out for practice a couple of times,
Yep.
so he'll probably make 1 or 2 attempts, and that's about it. So
For him to kind of a nice little moment because this will be his first qualifying attempt for the 3 hour.
yeah, that's always a good memory.
Not too bad after having, a couple of years now under his belt. And Sean Moore takes an old school pitch. Did it do him any good? Let's see. Where's he at? K9, nope. 17.648. Not going to work.
Yeah, he's
Could've looked
starting to flirt with disaster down there.
Yeah,
So
he's
he's found the limit.
He's a flirty little fishy. Okay, G4. Donnie Garrigus the 4th, sitting 4th on the charts for qualifiers today. 17.574. He's in. Trying to improve a little bit with Anthony sitting at the on-track gate. Swings up wide, takes it to the right-hander. Uh-oh. Did you hear a miss?
Yeah, something didn't sound
That,
right there.
yeah.
It almost like it stalled out and then sort of kicked back
And
on.
fired right back up again.
Yeah, which, obviously when it does that, it's not creating momentum and picking up speed. I think he knew it and decided to let out of that deal.
Yeah, 18.008, but he still got that 4th quick for the day, and it's 17.574.
Yeah. At some point, somebody in the pits, might tell you, hey, you're just beating your head against the wall a little bit.
Yep.
Here he is for his first ever 3-hour figure 8 qualifying attempt.
Anthony Sloan came on first as a stock class driver.
Yeah, won Rookie of the Year in the street stock division.
And then riding along with his father there in the outlaw division. And he's one that, Cindy Sloan let us know she appreciated the kind words. But in general, he's just earned his own kind words. Does not get in the way.
Yep.
No, he does not have the top-notch equipment. They are sometimes, trying to find what they can out there to come ride and make it to the racetrack. Got some helpful folks there to make it out here today. Right now, just trying to put it into the field. Becomes your 18th qualifier for the day, and he's in. This point would be good enough for 10th alternate with a 2.0599, 20.599. 83. Oh, I forgot Manny. Manny Aguilar coming in, number 83, had not yet been out on the qualifying. So another one.
Yeah, I was miscounting there. I had 19 the first time, and then I said 17, so I went back to my first thing. It is 19.
I forgot about Manny myself out there. Bump speed right now is Ricky Puckett, 17.813.
And again, last night, if we would have locked in 28, and Manny would have been the 28th car. So he's got a time that's it's right there if he could put it up here in this second lap.
First one warms things up there at 18.673.
That one had that sort of same sound, too, as it stalled out just a hair there. So he shot a little wide there, so this one probably not going to do it. He's going to have to come back out again.
Yep, and he's doing the old school for the Bonsais to put the slide into effect. And the A3 Manny Aguilar, 15th over for the day, 18.573, not going to bump himself in.
No, but I think he's got that time in him around that 17.9, 18 flat, that's right there close to the spot.
Ricky Puckett stays on the bubble with that 17.813. And this is going to be Doug Riddle's number 21 machine. He right now is a spot or two out. Best lap for Riddle has been an 18.005, has yet to crack the 18-second mark. Let's swap in low and slow. He actually took a low approach into the flag stand turn. I think that might be the groove there will not produce because it doesn't carry a lot of speed there for running through the entire turn. Swings up wide and still outside looking in, 18.317. Wrapping this up at about 3:15, about 3:15 or 4:15, 3:15, 4:15. Yep, 4:15. Wrap things up about 4:15. Anyone who's on the track at the end of that can finish their run, just like at the Speedway when the gun goes off. But qualifying ends 4:15, and this is going to be Mr. Norman once again. The Norman invasion continues here. Who keeps putting on the tarps back there? I'm not. Somebody back there in the tech line or coming out line keeps putting tarps on.
They might be trying to keep heat in the tires.
I think that was the game plan, but my other thought was if you're trying to qualify, trying to bump your way into the field, you don't have a lot of secrets we don't want to see.
Yeah, but I think it's more trying to secure heat in the tires. But yeah, it creates some questions. What do we got there?
Norman, 18.195. 18.195 is not going to get him in. It is one of his better laps.
Yeah, he's just a couple of spots out there, the third alternate right now.
Best was his second lap of this whole run tonight, 18.179. And this is Pete Bear come back out in the number 24. Right now, he's sitting at 7th on the qualifiers today. 17.670 his best, trying to improve a little bit. Himself a bit further off that bubble because he knows now he's got guys like Aguilar and a few others that might have a shot at getting into the main. So it doesn't hurt to get a little bit of insurance. 18.529 for the warm-up. Part of a whole clan of bears we've had over the years. Clan of bears? Okay.
It's a den of bears, I think.
Well, you clan of, okay.
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Another game. 18.077, oh so close to making it, but he's already in, so it doesn't matter. 17.670 still stands his time.
A covey of bears.
Covey?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's go to another family that's been around racing here for a while.
Frosty, the race car, came out in 71. Okay. I don't think 71 is his birth year, but he's back in action there, number 71 machine. Trying to bump his way in. Best run so far has been a 18.361, 18.340, pardon me, 18.340. Runs an 18.413 that time. He's going to have to brush off about a full half second to bump his way into the starting field. Steve keeps this one under wraps there for just these special events there. Qualifies with no improvement. 13 quick for the day, still a couple spots out. And Dennis Sloan's going to come back out trying to improve a touch. Best lap early was a 2.0367, 2.0367. Thanks. Pretty much a whole bunch of folks that pitch in to keep that operation going, but also Clayton Roten there. Clayton's Auto Parts on board. Actually picked up a couple spots at 2.0035, 2.0035. Moving up a couple spots there in the alternates list. And second one was a 2.0140, so the 2.0035 stands as his best lap so far today. Right into Jill Lepeto trying to bump her way back into the game. Bump speed now, 17.813. Ricky Puckett, 17.813. Right now has the last spot in the starting field. Boy, is that the line at the lottery? Oh, my goodness. All checking out the Hoosier Lottery tent today, aren't they?
Hey, if you're not in the game, you can't win, Tori.
No. Don't forget a good friend over there with Indy Screen Print Trailer. Got you covered. Now, once again, he will have more sweatshirts, we do believe. Plus, he's filled out the racks again today. So he sold out last night. That cooler weather kind of killed the crowd, but boy, Sent him out buying some shirts, that's for sure. And Lepedo there had the car just get away from her, and she'd actually improved a bit to 17.874, but not sure how severe the contact was. We'll go over and check on Jillian right away there, make sure everything's all right. Head moving around, bit of frustration on her part. Looks like she has damaged the front end. They're calling for the wrecker out there.
Most likely the left front probably got some suspension damage there.
Tough break, Miss Jillian, staying in the car for the moment. We'll see if we've maybe got a replay, see what went wrong. Saw her coming off there on the approach to the line there. Was definitely not along that inside lane, the right-hand lane there.
600ths off of getting in the field right there. Just, so close.
Yep. Bump speed was 17, or time was 17.813. She just did a 17.874. Kind of taking a look around, checking with Jillian herself, make sure she's all right. Not asking for. She took a tough trip last time out. Took a bit of a knock there and had to head out for some medical attention there last time with us, but claiming she was all healed up. I think her dad once described she's a tiny little thing. What Dad wants to describe her as a broomstick with hair, so. Here comes Indy's best tone over there. Get her hooked up and back in the pits. No replay? Oh, okay. Darn the luck. I was curious to see because the groove she was taking there, she kind of popped out. Instead of staying there right with that inside lane on the right-hand side, kind of popped out there, come about halfway down the straightaway, popped in the middle, sashayed a little bit, and then it just had to pitch it in there hard. And just a little bit too much and kiss the wall up there. So helmet's off. She can hear you, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like the driver's going to be all right. Car maybe not so much so, but we can always find us another car.
I'm sure they'll get that thing fixed right back up.
I was going to say, Jerica and crew getting ready to roll on that one.
Probably won't be back out for qualifying in another attempt, but get it ready and maybe make that final practice. And
as it stands, she'd be our first alternate. She's got a couple hours, so she's got a sweat thing, so.
And remember, Leonard Basham was the first alternate and finished third in this race, so definitely not out of the realm of success.
And Calvin Crane. My fave. Yeah, I know. It was shenanigans. They finagled that one, but still, it was a great moment. Steve the Bull Durham back out. He's all right. 6-foot qualifier today in the field. What time is 17.638? 17638. Now, to give you an idea, those last couple of times there at the bubble speed, you had Durham 17.638, you had Pete Bear 17.670, and Ricky Puckett on the bubble 17.813. So the whole field is under 18 seconds at this point, but still a close call there. And we had Riddle at 18.0, Norman 18.1, Dustin Hunt 18.2, Steve Frost 18.3s. Humans was 18.4, so there's a little change and a little improvement. Durham, no improvement. Boy, talk about consistent. 17.638 was his best, and that was a 17.700. Dustin Hunt's going to pitch it all over the place trying to get some heat in those tires right off the bat, and I think you're right about putting the tarp on it to get that heat going.
He might have been the one tarping it up back there.
I think he was.
Kind of a, what do they call that, a A Dutch oven or something?
Well, there you go. He was a Dutch oven. Might have been a hot box situation. So
that's the one I was thinking.
Could have been a hot box. That's the story. So we'll talk. He made that trip over to Illinois there before coming out here tonight. There's going to dispense justice or something else. There we go. Down turn number 2. Takes to the straightaway there. Northbound and down. Goes left hand on it. Drifts up. Just outside of the patches there at the north end. Lines up. Lets it slide into position. And this is going to be the old school way we used to bonsai it. Did it do him any good? It did not. 18.540. His best lap was still his second one of the day. And this leads us right into your buddy, Mr. Ricky Puckett, who's sitting on the bubble with that 17.813. He knows it's not safe. He's got a couple guys out there who could still knock him out of there, so he needs to improve that spot. Takes in. This is going to set up for the run. Hits the marker there. Goes way down low on the approach there to turn 1. Low approach on 2. I think he's trying to shorten the entire track. And instead, so let's see how he does there at the north end. Let it swing up wide outside of the patches. Low approach. Here goes right down. Nope. He pulls out of the nine. Pitches it sideways. What did it do for him? Nope. 17.967. No improvement, but looked funny. Looked fancy.
I tell you what, when he came off of 4 there, Tori, he just said Pucket and threw it right on in there and see what he could get.
Sometimes you just say Pucket. That's all you got to do. Ricky Puckett trying to bump his way up a little bit, does not do so. He still sits on the bubble with a 17.813. Anthony Sloan next up. That's true. We still got Donnie Sloan. I thought still had that car out there somewhere.
Looks like is Ricky having an issue with the transmission?
Oh, Lordy.
After that spin there and grabbing gears? We hope not. I know that was the issue that kept him from being here last night.
Yeah, what's that right front look, man? I guess it turned all right when it turned in. I don't see any fluid left behind. That's a positive. He's going to take the kinetic assistance back in the pit area. Another reminder in the pit area. Another reminder in the pit area. 1, if you parked in the pit area and this race starts, you're in there till the race is over. Number 2, it will be an open pit event, and that includes all the practice sessions and the like, so keep alert. This world needs more alerts. But please stay alert at all times. Also, the pits will be open during the racing program. That means you need to keep any extra bodies you got out of the roads, the lanes at all times. Keep track of the folks there with limited mobility or limited common sense. Make sure they're not getting in the roadway because a couple of these guys are going to be coming off. They're going to be in a hurry. They got a job to do, and they really don't want to wait for you to get out of the way so they can go do it. Anthony Sloan trying to prove his spot. Right now, he is the 19th fastest qualifier of the day. Scheduled to start as your 11th alternate at this point. Best lap was a 2:05.99, 2:05.99. This is kind of a rarity for him to actually be able to qualify on the 8. Just being able to qualify, period. Doesn't always get the chance to do that here. And 2:09.26, no improvement. The return of Manny Aguilar in the number 83. Aguilar's best lap was an 18.573. He did much better last night. Going to try and improve this up. He's got to get it better than a 17.813, though. Basically, he's going to have to trim about 7 or 8 tenths of a second off his best time. Track staying quite clean. Bit of a groove being laid down. A lot of rubber out there. Wide approach, turn number 2. Slots down the left-hand side. Sets it up for a wide approach there in 3. Way up towards the top there, outside of the patches. Brings in where he's going to line up here for the run to the line. Lets it drift up to the classic old school throwdown, and no help. Well, it did help a little bit, not much. 18.417, 18.417, still 6 tenths out of the transfer spot, 6 tenths out of the bump spot. Sean Moore getting the hound hauler into the starting field already, trying to improve a little bit. 17.593, his best lap so far. He is in at this point. with right at about 12 minutes remain. 12 minutes remain. 12 minutes remain for qualification attempts. 12 minutes remain for qualifying attempts. 12 minutes remain for qualification attempts. Now I start having to do the math. Do I stay out there and throw down a couple more laps? You know, do I get back in line, or do I stand pat, not take a chance of doing any damage?
There's also something that happens some of these years as well. If you're one of the last couple of people that are locked in, you try to get back out there to make another qualifying attempt as the time's running out to keep those folks that want to get another attempt to bump you out from getting on the track.
And there's been a few that stretched.
Little gamesmanship on that.
There was a few that stretched even further than that with a spin and stall. And
yeah.
Trying to get back in. Daniel Norman, this could be deciding whether or not he's going to run the 3 hour or wait till next year. So rumor has it. Rumor has it. Rumor has it. Let's see. Yes, Cyber Beach. Yes, this is qualifying.
Is that like techno or something?
Oh, that's something. No,
or is that like health food?
I'll tell you. These old questions here. I'll tell you. Cyberbeats Remix Lab. Thanks for putting this on YouTube. Not charging. Love Demo Derby's Bump to Pass for great racing. Okay, Cyberbeats.
Bump to Pass. That's an evergreen Speedway thing.
I'll tell you. I love Banger
I think
Race.
it is.
Grew up on the Spanaway Speedway, Washington.
See? Yeah.
Washington State.
Here comes Norman.
Norman, is that you? 18145.
Yeah, 18-1 on that second one.
Is that basically what he ran before? Let's see.
Yeah, no, that is his quick time.
That's his quick time, but I think that's real close to what he does. He's got consistency anyways.
Yeah.
Just not able to improve too much. That's what he's got to aim for. Bump time is still that Ricky Pucket 17.813, and this is Pete Bear, who's already in. Pete's best time was just next up in the ladder, 17.670 Pete Bear. So an outside still looking in. Doug Riddle still trying to get his way bumped into the field. Best lap for Doug Riddle is 18.005. And Norman there, those top two in the not yet bumped in list. Tire field is under 18 seconds for the starting field. There had a tiny little bobble coming off of 4 and sets it up. Does not improve any. 18 flat on that one. He stands there with his early time of 17.670. Doug Riddle back up in the gate. Doug Riddle in the number 21. Extensive career of driving up at the Anderson Speedway. Part of the whole Riddle clan there. Mike Riddle Sr. and then Jr. Doug himself, Billy. Long-time partnership with Darwin Blankenship up there in the high banks. And making home here at the Speedrome a couple years back that included a 1-2 championship run here for the Riddle boys a few seasons back. Oh, I'm hearing a miss on that one. And there is definitely some engine problems there with the Riddle Mobile. 18.176 on that go-round. Tries to carry everything he's got left on it because he's definitely got something going sour. Let's see if he does any good with this one. It does not. 18.758. That he lost. That's basically 6/7 of a second. Something's definitely sour under the hood. The return of the 31 of Bobby Whitaker. Whitaker right now has his second lap of the day. He's basically taken about 4 laps total this weekend in that car. 20.444.
He hopes to take a lot more this evening.
He is. Now, I'm not seeing anybody else in line behind. Yeah. A couple folks, I don't know if a couple folks decide to stand pat with what they got or they're going to make another shot at it. Again, this is make or break time. Oh. Norman coming back around. He may have skipped the tech thing. Whitaker, did he actually do a second? Yeah, I guess so. And 44 wasn't going to make it. Whitaker, no improvement there, 2.032. Well, I guess he did 2.0328. And this is the return of Ricky Puck in the 99.
So whatever that was that stalled him out there, obviously nothing, not a big deal. He's back out rather quickly.
Yeah. Still sitting on the bubble. $18 and change on that one. Approaching the cutoff, we show about 7 minutes remain. 7 minutes remain. 7 minutes remain. Full pitch there on the 99 of Pucket. Still same spot. In fact, that was slower than his best. A 17.932 on that one. His 17.813 still stands as the bump speed or bump time.
Bump.
And in case you're curious about what that translates into speed, that is right at 50 miles an hour average speed, by the way. About right at a 50 mile an hour average speed. May not sound like much until you figure that includes a full 180 turn there at either end.
Yep.
So this is basically an anti-Bowman Gray type track here. Instead of one big 360, we split it up. Because that's an acute ankle. Oh, you're acute too. All right. I think I do see Norman back at the gate. Going to give her another shot as we see Pete Bear back on the track. Pete Bear in. Best lap is 17.670. 17.670. Takes the checkered. 17.830. No improvement. And Daniel Norman come back out. Greencastle, Indiana, in the house. Daniel Norman on the track. Every lap, you got to admit, every lap he just keeps getting better. He's got some good talent there. Coming in late to the figure eight game. He's already growed up. Takes in the left-hander, now sets himself up for the right-hander, turn number one. Right off the mark there in turn number one, just a little high there, kicks the rear end around just a touch. Nice sliding approach into turn number two. Does not break up a whole lot of momentum. Lets the car have its lead there, so to speak. Swing up high, now it makes the final approach here for turn number three, down the straightaway, smack dab down the middle of it. Did it do him any good? It does not. 18.169, no, not an improvement. His 18.145 still stands as his best.
But as you mentioned the last time when he turned that 145, that's like 6 or 7 laps that he's turned right there in that range.
He's found his happy medium. He's not, one thing he's not done is change his groove.
Yeah.
We got the Scott and I groove. We got coming down that right-hand side.
That's what I'm liking about him. He's smart enough to know that I'm not ready yet for that bonsai situation and end up tearing my car up because I don't have the practice at doing that. So he's running the laps he can. Okay. And I think he will race very well once he gets into the event. So we hope to see him tonight.
Ricky Puckett trying to improve his spot. 17.805 his bestie.
Like to give himself a little more breathing room.
Did he just do a matching 17.0? Hold the phone. Okay, he actually improved the first one with 17.805, then came back slower that time, 17 and 18.143. Well, he actually improved his first go-round.
Yeah, and usually that first lap is sort of that. So that's one of the first times all weekend we've seen that. Here comes the bull once again.
Yep. By the way, you got the birthday boy out there, Preston Deaton, out there with us here tonight, up there going through the stands, don't you know?
Nice.
He's buying us beer.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, 11 years old. He's going to buy beer for. Look at that.
Yeah, he just got some money to go to the stand.
He just got some money there. Preston's going to buy us beer. It's Preston Deaton's birthday, and he's buying beer for everybody.
Yeah. Rounds on me.
Wasn't even paying attention. Dang. Steve the Bull Durham, 44, 17.766 that last lap. His best lap still was his first one he made a run on here. Preston, you weren't even paying attention. I'm sitting there talking about you. You weren't even paying attention. I'll tell you. I was going to get you a date, Preston. Find you an Indianapolis girlfriend. This is going to be Pete Bear come back out in the number 24 machine. Well, I do that guy back there on the backstretch wearing those knockoff Hey Dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. Little ponytail, unicorn collection, upside down pineapple on the cooler next to him.
Got the hula girl on the bobble on the dash.
No, there's no girls involved with him. He's an interesting one. Pete Bear trying to make something happen out there. It's 18.357 on that lap. See if we can improve it just a little bit here. This next one on the go round. 7th of the qualifiers here today. A little bit further up the charts. Does he do it? No, but he looked good doing it. 17.955 just for show off. Kurt Euman's out again here. He is right now 18.447, his very best.
There can't be many more attempts left here, Tori.
No, if they're running out of time, About 2 minutes remain. 2 minutes remain. 2 minutes remain for qualifying attempts. I think that's that Norman again in line. No, that's not actually Norman.
Norman.
Durham just sort of cut the line. Okay, they got a couple out there. They got 3 cars in line right now.
Well, and when the clock does strike 0, they'll let the car that's on the track finish the lap.
Yep, Humans gets one, 18.491. Best lap in 18.447. Again, a classic case.
So he was close there on that first lap.
The car, okay, and something's gone away there. I think he may have finally wore out what he had on the good tires. Time to get his pit shine on what's left. 18.573, no improvement, and he's going to take what he's got. The 18.447 still stands from earlier. And here we go, the Black Maria coming back out on the track, the 55, Daniel Norman. This could be make or break for Norman's plan for the 3-hour. We'll see what happens. Again, story has it that he was telling folks he's going to either make the starting field or wait till next year. Got a very good car underneath him. Shows he's got some natural chops. Sit down, Preston. You're bothering us. Swings on to the right-hand side. Takes the left-hander now in turn number 3. Lets it drift up, rear and kicks around a little bit. He's at least not doing the dirt track thing. A lot of guys coming off the dirt track try to do the dirt track thing on the asphalt. Rarely works for him. And he actually did improve. Got under the 18 seconds. 17.997. 17997. Personal best. But just a couple of ticks out of that transfer into the starting field.
I tell you what, all the work and all the hundreds of laps he's done this weekend has just paid off. I mean, that's a darn good lap time right there. And I'm seeing the red flag, Tori.
Yep, looks like they are calling time. I see 4:15 on my Mickey Mouse. So that was the last run of the day.
Yep,
sets up our final 8 qualifiers making the starting field. Dylan Dowsett in the 21D machine.
Picking up the $300
$300. There you go, Dylan.
From Danny Key, and he's got a corporate sponsor here. Let's check that out.
Danny Key, what you got?
That's DAK Mobile Services. Thanks to Danny Key and DAK Mobile Services for providing $300 bonus award to Mr. Dylan Dowsett.
That buys a lot of poutine. So making the transfer tonight into that starting field. Come here, you. It's going to be the Dylan Dowsett number 21D machine, Robert Greenwell in the 40, Doug Greggs 33 back in again. Donnie Garrigus in the DG4 is going to make it. Sean Moore is going to have the Hound Hauler in there, the K9. He's going to have Steve Durham makes the transfer. Pete Bear beats in there. And just your last final qualifier getting in there, Ricky Puckett in the starting field for the 2025.
So he was sitting on the couch last night, and now he gets in the field. So congratulations to Mr. Ricky Puckett, the final car to make it in. And of course, everybody else will be part of that alternates line, and they'll get into the race as soon as possible. And still a lot of good things can happen from the alternates line, as we've mentioned, throughout the evening.
Nothing will be happening now is a series of drivers' meetings for one thing. Let's see.
We got a final practice coming up as well.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, boys, come on out.
We want to thank American Racer Tires. American Racer Tires, the official tire of the Outlaw Figure 8 Division and the World Figure 8 Championship. American Racer is known around the globe for their quality, durability, repeatability, and value. American Racer Tires are part of the tradition of craftsmanship and innovation dating back to 1915. American Racer Tires are proudly made in the USA.
Oh, boy. Setting up a good old weekend, aren't we?
Yep. Want to thank Tom Wood Automotive Group and Power Sports Indy. They're the official green flag sponsor of the Indianapolis Speedrome. The Tom Wood Group is your destination for new and used car dealerships in Indianapolis. They offer professional auto service and competitive financing, while the Tom Wood Power Sports Group is the premier dealer and service provider for BMW, Motorrad, Honda Power Sports, and more. That's Tom Wood.
Long-time friend here of the Speedrome. Great. Had a lot of fun with them earlier when they ordered the flyover, all kinds of stuff. Reminder here, folks, you're just coming in. Don't forget, grab you something to eat, drink. We got you covered all the way around the racetrack under the main grandstand outside of turn 1 of the 8, turn 4 of the oval, the south end, as well as outside turn 2 of the 8, turn 3 of the oval. We have our good friends with Hoosier Lottery on board outside of turn 2 of the 8, turn 3 of the oval. And we've also got you, of course, our good friends, Indy Screen Print, behind the main grandstand here. T-shirts, sweatshirts. You're going to need the sweatshirts tonight. Be down around the very low 50s. At best, maybe the 50 degrees, but should be down around 47 to 50 degrees tonight once that sun is down.
Bruce Litton Trailer Sales has built a 4-decade reputation on quality customer service and trust. Bruce and his team strive to provide exceptional value and match you with the ideal trailer or truck version of your needs. Bruce Litton Trailer Sales, the official sponsor of the Legends series. Circle City Pyrotechnics of Indiana has been providing fantastic, affordable fireworks displays since 1996 and offers fireworks presentations at affordable prices. Circle City provides the Speedrome fireworks each year, and they are the proud sponsor of the Junior Fast Kart Division. Hadley Towing and Recovery is a full-service towing and roadside assistance provider dedicated to offering reliable and efficient service to motorists in central Indiana. From light and medium-duty towing to equipment transportation, private property impounds, tire changes, and more, Hadley Towing, the official sponsor of the Outlaw Figure 8 cars. Again, stand by for our final practice here for the World Figure 8 Championship. It's a practice session that's going to last approximately 25 minutes. And then following that final practice, we'll get set up for the official drivers-only meeting in the garage following this practice session. So stand by for the final practice, and then we'll have the mandatory drivers meeting after that.
I've got an interesting little call here. If you were, he said older lady, and of course with my standards, that's a pretty wide range there. But if you had requested a 2X zip hoodie from the T-shirt Don there over at the trailer, over the Indie Screen for trailer, go see Don right now. He's got you covered. If you ask for a 2X zip hoodie from the trailer, please go see T-shirt Don over at the hoodie trailer. Watching. I hope that was oil dry he just went through. What's Curtis Humans now? And Curtis Scotch going to be faster than he was before. This could be embarrassing.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
That would be. That was an 18.285. That was actually a pretty good lap for Curtis.
Yeah, pressure's off.
18.285.
Pressure's off now.
Now he's on race mode. I'll tell you what, Curtis Humans picking up the pace. I'll tell you. Let's see. Can he get it down under 18? 18.521, but that was one of his best laps.
He hasn't sent me one yet. Yeah.
That is Curtis Humans once again. Boy, we've had fun following him. Check out the Speedrome Facebook page for a great interview that Will Greenwell did with him yesterday. Great story here about basically the essence of what this 3 hours is all about. But again, if you were a lady that ordered a 2X zip hoodie from the T-shirt trailer there, the Screen Print trailer, go on and see the guy. He's found you one. He found you one. And that man, you might want to see him anyways. He's got you covered here for your official 3-hour stuff. Tons of other goodies, including all sorts of other racer shirts. A whole bunch of the racers here from the Speedrome. Got the Sunny family pretty well covered. There are no Paul Roth shirts yet. There's a plan to get Paul Roth shirts into the inventory, but at this point there are no Paul Roth shirts.
Those have come from those would be considered classics.
Yeah, that is true.
The classics collection.
Paul Roth is a classic, yes indeed. But then so is polio. But anyways, Paul Roth there, not in the T-shirt inventory so far. We thank every last one of you being with us here tonight, folks. Glad to have you on board. Lots of old friends coming out here as well. Mr. Bill Cohen in the house.
Pepsi is the official beverage sponsor of the Indianapolis Speedrome with great popular products such as Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Starry, Dr. Pepper, as well as Diet Pepsi, Diet Mountain Dew, and Diet Dr. Pepper. Refresh yourself with one of these Pepsi selections at one of our many concession areas. That's Pepsi. Since 1989, the Hoosier Lottery has been bringing Hoosiers together for fun, excitement, and the chance to dream. Their success is a shared success with the communities they serve, and they are honored to be part of the fabric of Indiana, helping Hoosier dreams big and small. Hoosier Lottery, the official sponsor of the Victory Lane, Dash for Cash, and your discount tickets. Visit Hoosier Lottery on the backstretch there by the rear spectator entrance there in turn 3 of the oval. Check out all the cool stuff they got going over there, and maybe win yourself some money there with a nice scratch-off ticket at the Hoosier Lottery booth. Check out our good friends at One Way Auto Parts. Looking for good used parts? Looking to sell an old vehicle for scrap? One Way Auto Parts can handle that and more. Call them at 317-632-1994 or stop in at 3401 East New York Street to see what they can do for you. That's One Way Auto Parts, the sponsor of the wildly popular Grocery Getters, which we'll see next Saturday night.
You got a special guest. He's on air.
No. I just listen.
I'd like to thank our friends at Hanner's Wrecker Parts Recycling and Towing. If you're running into vehicle troubles, Hanner's can help. They offer light, medium, heavy-duty towing at 4 locations around central Indiana. Also a great place to bring your scrap and get paid for cash for all that. Hanner's Wrecker Parts and Recycling is a proud sponsor of all the Speedrome school bus events, and we thank Tony Hanna for all the support there. Again, open practice continues for another 20 minutes or so. If you're needing any final practice here for the World Figure 8 Championship, come on out. This practice is scheduled to run to 4:45, and then following that we'll have the drivers meeting. So we'll see a few more cars coming out and shaking things down here before festivities turn to other things here today. Final practice continues here for the World Figure 8 Championship. While this practice is going on, I'll sneak in a few more sponsors here. Great folks that help us out here at the Speedrome. Jacob Dietz Fire Protection. When it comes to your home or business, fire safety should be a top priority. That's why Jacob Dietz Incorporated of Indianapolis is available to provide everything you need to protect your property in case of fire. Jacob Dietz, the official fire protection sponsor of the Indianapolis Speedrome. That's one of your locked-in cars out there. That's the 37 machine of Ben Lembach. I believe it's the first time he's been on track today, so a little bit of a shakedown run before tonight's event. Check out the Crossover with Josh and Mikey podcast. It's a short track racing show that always keeps one eye focused on their favorite track, the Indianapolis Speedrome. Look for the latest episode links on Facebook or download and stream it from your favorite podcast platform. That's the Crossover with Josh and Mikey podcast. Need quality concrete fast and mixed on the spot? Contact Johnson Quick Mix. Johnson Quick Mix has the perfect site mix solution. Call 877 Quick Mix for your next home remodel, driveway, or sidewalk project today. Johnson Quick Mix, the official sponsor of every winner's interview here at the Speedrome. We welcome our new friends at Dutton Plumbing. Dutton Plumbing prides themselves on their quality of work and customer service in the plumbing industry. Call 317-938-8969 to schedule an appointment and have Dutton Plumbing complete your next plumbing project today. That's Dutton Plumbing.
Getting the party rolling here. Ben Lembach, number 37, already locked in, ready to have some fun here tonight. Boy, it's been an up and down couple of seasons here for Ben Lembach the last few years. Growing up out here not far from the track, watching his great uncle Jim Tunney, who's in that very first 3 hour, or great grandfather, probably very first 3 hour many moons ago. Of course, over the years, watched the various Tunney cousins being on board as well. Going to be joined by the Matt Smith number 87 machine. Served a long time as the crew chief for Ben Tunney, as well as being another one of the kids in the pits. Growing up not far from the racetrack, another one of the Warren Central kids. See what he can roll out and get rocking out here. This is the final practice session, final practice session, final practice session. Best lap for Ben Tunney. Everybody is basically on the race trim right now. 18.115 for Ben Lembach's best lap. Gives you an idea to compare that with Curtis Humans. Now Lembach goes out there, does 7 laps, run pretty good there. His best lap, 18.115. Curtis Humans, who couldn't make it into the show this time around, comes out 18.285 for that run. So gives you an idea just how close the competition is between a fellow that's already locked in and a fellow that's going to have to come in as an alternate. So a tough break all around to get ready to make it happen. Lineup actually available. If you go to My Race Pass for your application, you actually see the lineup for this race coming up here tonight. The lineup is in there on the My Race Pass application. If you use that one, they have a lineup app, and we'll take a look at that one real quick. Qualifying, and Figure 8 Championship. Dalton Connor's going to be on the pole of this one. Mark Tunney, 3T next to him. Jesse Tunney, 57. Jeffrey Shackford, number 28. The 5 have been Tunney, then the 22 of Troy Hughes we've seen doing hot laps. Have not yet seen the 12 of Mike Riddle warming things up again, but we have seen the 3 of Kevin Brooks out on the track today. they'll be in that fourth row. Ninth start is going to be the OJ, the 0J of Matt Johnson. That's going to be the conscious Johnson, unlike the unconscious one who's been mentoring him lately. Matt Johnson's number 0J, side by side with Tommy St. John number 2, because Tommy St. John number 1 working the wrenches in that number 29. Race Loving, for us old timers, that is going to be Frank's grandson. That's going to be Robbie's kid. Race Loving in the 15L, side by side with number 4 of Mr. Michael Hadley. Mike Hadley in the 4 machine. Chad Sizemore's number 1. Your champion here in 2025 starts on the inside of row 7. Next to him, the fellow on the track right now, Matt Smith, number 87 machine, starting right about halfway through. That's good part of the starting field. Corey Harmon's number 17. John Carlson, the travel from Washington State, in the 50. There is Matt Johnson, by the way, the 0 machine of Matt Johnson. That is the son of Raymond Unconscious Johnson from out in the Sportsdrome for years and years. He still does not have a Hoppy on board. I am so ashamed. I have mine, probably in the window with the pigs, but don't have one on Matt Johnson's 0 machine. I think someone on that's a violation of the national law down there in Sportsdrome. Let's see, Carlson the 50, Austin Tunney, starting deep in the field for Austin Tunney in that borrowed car there, Eric Hester's car there, the 23 machine, side by side with our buddy Len Bach, who's just out a little bit ago. 74, Charlie Hargraves makes it in the starting field with the 111 is Sean Cullen, and Sean Cullen was the last car to lock in last night in that top 20 starting spots. Today we add in the next 8 starters in tonight's main event, the 21D of Dylan Douthit, and the 40 of Robbie Greenwell, the 33 of the veteran, the record-setting veteran, 33 of Doug Gregg, side by side with another fellow who's got his own set of records and all good. Donnie Garrigus the 4th in the DG4 machine. Then Sean Moore in the Hound Hauler K9. Boy, a lot of folks there happy to see that one make it into the starting field. Steve Durham in the black and white number 44 ride. Pete Bear, the 24, another one that has just tickled to make it into the starting field. Doesn't happen too often over the years for him. He's in after only his second night on the track here in 2025. He literally has not raced all with us here all year long. And Ricky Puckett, after begging, borrowing, and probably not stealing a brand new transmission and parts to go, gets things rolling on the overnight. Overnight Express gets him to the track, and he is out there on the track. The last qualifier, the last one bumped in, the 99 of Ricky Puckett will be starting. Everybody else we rolled in as an alternate. Don't forget, they still have an opportunity to go and play the game. They just come in as alternates as cars drop out. On the track right now. Oh, there we go. I even got the alternates field. Thank you very much. On top of it. First alternate will be the Jim Lepedo in the 0 machine, provided all is well and repaired. Then Daniel Norman, 55, provided he does decide to come play with us. Doug Riddle's number 21. Dustin Hunt in the 74, scores a 74X. Steve Frost, number 71. Manny Aguilar in the 83. Curtis Humans in the number 11. Again, I think he probably has one of his best laps there on that little race radio lap. Dennis Sloan in the 15. Mike Nelson in the 131. Bobby Whitaker in the 31W. And Anthony Sloan, last alternate, on 32. Still a possibility of cars be added should they show up late. It has occurred in the past and could occur again. Out on the track, going to have the 40 of Robbie Greenwell, the 15 of Race Loving, the 57 of Jesse Tunney, the 50 of John Carlson, the cowboy from Washington State, borrowing a Tunney car, and the 17 of Corey Harmon, 22 of Troy Hughes out there, as well as with the aforementioned 87 of Matt Smith. Last chance to get some hot laps in. Last chance for these guys to get some practice in before we lock it down. About 4:45. Going to wrap up practice about 4:45. Just a little over 10 minutes from now. Last call. Anybody wants some final practice? To the track. Following this, we'll go into a mandatory drivers only meeting. Over at the pit office garage. And then from there, we'll start lining things up, get things out on the track. See a few more coming up to the gate to get that final bit. And this, for a lot of these guys, will be the first time they'll be actually practicing with the race trim. They're going to want to be there for the race itself. Full fuel loads with their choice of best tires on board. Tires that they have been approved to run coming out of the impound. I believe if I recall the rule correctly, tires they qualified on as well.
Yeah, they had a maximum of 8 tires to put in impound. They could start the race either on the ones that they used in qualifying, or they can start with the other new set that they got. and then use the qualifying set as their second set, or vice versa. It's their choice.
Okay.
But they have to be on that list, and they're scanned in electronically, so that way when they come out for driver's introductions, they'll scan them, and then at the end of the race, the top finishers, they'll scan them as well. And then there's somebody logging tires when somebody comes in with a flat. They'll be able to know that they've changed the tire for a flat, so they'll be able to check that out
still
as
with
well.
improved tires. Now, what happens to somebody flattens all four tires, and which has occurred?
They probably need a rollback.
Okay.
But there is circumstances where they can use a replacement from their practice set.
Okay.
But it still needs to be logged in as yours. But it's also subject to being sent out and checked if you're one of our top finishers to the lab to make sure it was.
I can't picture UPS working that fast.
Well, no, that every prize money will be held until that point.
Gotcha. We got a 20 machine of Dalton Connor, your pole sitter, out on the track now. One person we haven't seen is the guys when he started alongside him.
He got out in that early practice, though.
Not yet in this one, though. Kevin Brooks out there in number 3. Again, let's see anybody else. Sean Cohen out there in the 111. Boy, he was sitting there with holding his breath there at the tail end of that qualifying last night. A couple more at the gate. Once again, this is their final chance to run a race trim package, full fuel load and the like. All cars are eligible. In fact, in years back, we even had cars who hadn't made the race come out for this practice, or guys who are getting ready to go home come out for this final practice for a chance to put some laps on. There's another fellow. Everybody's got the nod out there. Running Ruthless. Ruthless and Roofless is going to be the 28 of Jeffrey Shackelford. Is that going to be, how big a story is that going to be for Shackelford decided to take the roof off and keep it off now? He qualified with it off. Looks like he's liking that configuration, so... Did he? No, he qualified roof on, didn't he, last
night?
Yes, roof on, yes. So he did the Mr. Miyagi thing, roof on, roof off.
Yes.
And interesting, takes it off for the race itself. Connor's out there, your pole sitter tonight in the 20 machine. I see Race Loving waiting at the gate in his 15L, part of the Michigander. In fact, they're only part of the Michigander family there. Came down to join us tonight. Looking forward to more of them in years to come. No, I stand correct. That was Charlie Hargraves, his first appearance of the day in the 74. And Curtis Humans got to send out a big shout out and thank you to Charlie Hargraves for making this possible, for getting Curtis onto the track and ready to go. And we're going to be bragging on Curtis Humans all day long. Another fellow we've not seen all day, that's going to be 12 of Mike Riddle Jr. sitting at the gate for his turn to get some hot laps with a full fuel load.
Time winding down in this final tune-up session.
Yep, 4:36 on my Mickey Mouse. What you got till 4:45? So about 9 minutes remain. Let's see, who have we not seen? In fact, we've only seen 15 cars in this final practice session out of the 28 scheduled to start, and the almost 40 for the race. Obviously, for a lot of the alternates, it's simply the case they're going to toss the fuel in, fill it up, and go. Waiting for a gap there. Traffic a little bit heavy there. Not willing to throw the cars out just yet. I think the gate man's going to remember he better not stand there during the racing itself. The pits will be open, as I thought they were supposed to be for this practice session. And we send the 12 machine of Riddle out for some fun in the sun. I also got Ben Tunney over at the on-track gate, getting ready to come on out. There is Ben Tunney's number 5 machine, qualified a little bit down on the charts there, but still definitely a contender, along with his brothers Jesse and Austin, cousin Mark. Another distant cousin, Ben Limbach there. And cousin-in-law Mike Hadley, who's another one we saw in the earlier practice session, now not seen this final session.
Cousin-in-law. Cousin-in-law.
So we got a couple of fathers. We got a father-son combination with the Sloans. We got a brother situation here with the Tunneys. That'd be Austin, Ben, and Jesse. And a brother situation with Doug and Mike Riddle. I think that was it for the family trees. This one, trees. Yep. Remember the Lorax. And coming up on closing minutes, 4:38, 4:38, 4:38. About 7 minutes remain. 7 minutes remain for this final practice session. About 7 minutes remain for this final practice session. Matt Smith coming back out again. He's planning on winning practice here. It's 26 left. Yep, Matt Smith so far leads the practice parade. Of course, last night it was Doug Riddle. 112 laps.
Thursday night.
Yesterday
was Mark Tunney.
That's right, and he was in the 130s, 140s range.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yep. Mark Tunney really, he and Bruce and the team there working extra hard to find that extra speed there. Found enough for the front row, not enough for the pole position. Right now, Matt Smith, 18.
You know, it looked like Mike Riddle just put on his other set of tires and just slowly ran like a scuff a couple of laps.
21.341 was his best. Yeah, that was all it was.
So whether he chooses to start on that set or he's scuffing them for when they put them on in the pit stop, yep. I think he was just preparing those tires.
Not a bad move. Austin Tunney out in the 23 Hester machine. 20 cars now in this final practice session. Dalton Connor returns in the 20. This is a couple extra laps for him. Did he take the trans? Oh, there he is up there. There you go, 10 laps. Okay, for a second I thought I drove find him. Best time has been Shackelford, 17.429. Troy Hughes, 22, was a 17.449. Thomas St. John, 17.522. Dalton Connor, 17.567. And you can see the pattern here, the consistent speeds here. The race trim on my hot shoes are all there under the 17.7 mark. In fact, you get to the 10th quick so far of Robbie Greenwell, 17.726. So definitely we're looking, probably about the 17.4 range here for the average speed for my good shoes there to be able to get this job done here tonight. Matt Smith coming back out in the 87. Boy, he just loves practicing, doesn't he?
I think so.
Yep. Austin did about the same thing you were talking about. Did do a bit faster lap, but just 3 laps and done again.
Yeah.
In the 23 machines.
Well, and remember last night he had that brake trouble in his second qualifying attempt with the brakes, so they've been tuning that in today after working on it all evening.
So that might be one of the tails of the tape. Matt Smith, who loves practicing, he's up to 18 laps. Dalton Connor, I don't know him to be the kind of guy who practices all day long. He's up to 12 laps. Troy Hughes did 11. And you got a couple guys here literally happy with just 3 or 4 hot laps and go park it and get ready to go.
I tell you what, if Dalton Connor wins tonight, he would be, by almost 2 years, the youngest world figure 8 champion of all time. Ben Tunney, 22 years old and some change when he won the world title in 2009. The oldest driver to win the World Figure 8 Championship is Eddie Van Meter.
That's right. Van Meter got that a few years ago.
Van Meter, when he won the title in 2019, was 49 years, 1 month, and 1 day.
So there you go. By the time you hit 50, you're done as a figure 8 racer. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I never started, though. It helps.
Well, Bruce Tunney won all 3 of his world championships after the age of 40.
Oh, okay.
So a little experience.
Mike Hadley out in the number 4 machine.
It was before he'd won the World Figure 8 title. Yeah. Crazy stuff throughout the history of the 3-hour figure 8. The stories you can tell all day long.
Yep.
And we're going to make some more stories tonight.
It is. History
for sure.
Making. Glad to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen. However you got here, whether in person in the stands, get comfy, get to know each other, getting ready for some quiet time coming up here in just a bit because we got all kinds of work behind the scenes to take care of. Or you're joining us worldwide at the Speedrome.tv. Now, there was discussion of possibly going back live on YouTube for a bit here.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is end this free YouTube feed after this practice and take a break.
Oh, I forgot to check in with all my peanut gallery.
Yeah, and take a break for a little bit of time, and then approximately 6 o'clock when we have the pre-race show, we'll come back on with a new YouTube live feed for the pre-race show, and that'll lead you right up to the World Figure 8 Championship, which obviously will be exclusive on Speedrome.tv. But we'll continue the Speedrome.tv feed the entire time, but we'll take a YouTube free break and then come back with the pre-race show approximately 6 p.m.
Oh, we got fans out there in the etherweb there. I'll tell you what, your Cyber Beats guy there likes us. It's worth the $50 to hear these guys announcing. Whoop! They need to announce the NFL to make it fun again. There we go. Okay.
Nice. We'll see you at the Colts game tomorrow.
All right. He's grabbing him right there. Oh, my goodness. I don't think he's supposed to grab that one. That is a fumble. There you go. Okay. Family friendly. The race will not be live on YouTube once again. My apologies to Mr. Negroes there. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was the KNE. Oh, you're going to get me in trouble on the interwebs. But we are live, wrapping up the live worldwide coverage on YouTube, folks. We're getting ready to, of course, staying live there on the Speedrome.tv channel. $50 to check out the 3-hour live. Of course, if you get the regular subscription, we'll be doing it on tape delay. I'm not sure. It's like the old days here with the 8500 here local.
Yeah.
But be able to see it here in another week or so there as a regular part of your subscription. But to see it live tonight is a special subscription. We've got a couple folks also on board with that, so just keep that in mind. We've got contractual
people
obligations.
already signed up to watch tonight from all four corners of the country, plus folks overseas.
Yep, Stuart Cowley's out of bed. In fact, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning for Stuart Cowley to check this one out. He says he's getting up extra early to be able to watch us.
Yeah, got his snacks and drinks and things ready.
He's got him some tea and
crumpets.
Maybe strumpets, even though it's the old lady's not home. But yep, got himself. Oh, for those that follow, by the way, the Outlaws 8 game. I know we're going a free plug for you, Stuart. They've had added buses. I have my own bus. Thank you very much.
And your number is
1491. No, 1941. The year the track opened up. Also, Sean Moore, the Hound Hauler, is in that game using the K9 number.
Yeah.
So having a little fun with that one there. We thanks Stuart Cowley for the friendship and fun we've had with that game. And, boy, that has gone worldwide viral, too. That's really taken off. Glad to have it on.
Wintertime, I hear them on Facebook talking all the time, all the drivers racing on it and stuff. So
the boss is saying it's time to put this one to bed to all you folks in the peanut gallery. Thank you very much. And, the update, don't have an update on the Zero Machine. Race starts at 8. 8 o'clock local time. So we're going to get ready to go quiet here on the YouTube and be less than quiet at the track. We thank you all for joining us there on the YouTube, folks. And we're going to see you next time over here at the races. But, again, we're getting ready to go full-time, full pay at the track live and live at the World TV.
We'll be back on YouTube for the pre-race show starting at 6 o'clock.
Oh, they're coming.
We'll start a new feed for the pre-race show.
I never pay attention to the show notes. You know that.
I only said it 3 times here in the last 10 minutes.
I know.
That's all right. We're having our own show between us. So
I'm over-medicated and under